WPS Office Suite is an all-in-one Office suite that integrates Writer, spreadsheet, PDF, and presentation in one software. And it's available for Microsoft Windows, Mac operating system, Linux, iOS. You can find it in Android and even Harmony operating system. And it's developed by Kingsoft, a Chinese company. So some of the benefits that WPS Office Suite has include cost-effective, in that most of the available features like Writer, spreadsheet, and presentation, and even PDF come free of charge, that you can use them for free, which makes it very, very cost effective. It offers all of these features for free. Cross-platform compatibility, in that the WPS Office Suite is available for Windows, Mac operating system, Linux, Android, and iOS. Accordingly, you can find all of these versions in even your mobile version very fantastically. And then we have familiar user interface, that the user interface of WPS Office Suite is designed to be familiar and similar to those of Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office, so making the transition from Office users to the WPS very easy to navigate or switch around. And then we talk about the broad file format nature, which signifies that WPS Office Suite supports a wide range of file formats, including the commonly used docs file, XLS file, and even PPT, and even the latest ones, docs, XLSX and PPTX formats is also supported in WPS, which makes it broad file format support. And then we have feature-rich applications. The WPS application is rich in that it contains Writer, which is the Microsoft Word processor version, similar version, and spreadsheets, something like the Microsoft Excel that we have, and presentation, which represents the Microsoft PowerPoint, which cover the core components needed for office productivity. So most of the features that you are needing for office productivity, you can find them in WPS as well. And then we have cloud integration. WPS Office Suite provides cloud storage integration also that allow users to save and access their files directly from their computer, or cloud storage services such as Dropbox, Google Drive, and even OneDrive. So you can work on cloud and you can save your things on the cloud to access anywhere and using any device. And then we have PDF support. WPS Office Suite also include a built-in PDF reader and editor, allowing users to view, create, and even edit PDF documents without the need for additional software. Okay, you can do everything within this particular software. You can edit, you can view, you can even make PDF documents on your own. And lastly, we talk about security and privacy. The WPS Office Suite emphasizes security and privacy as it offers document encryption options to protect sensitive information, and files can be passworded. Okay, you can even password protect your files for additional security if you are interested in. I'm Dr. A.S. Abdul Rashid, and I'll be the instructor for this complete beginner's course. I'm a university lecturer, a digital content creator with a PhD in civil engineering from University Technology Petronas. And the outline that we're going to cover is, we've subdivided the components of this course into sections. Section 1 is going to cover WPS Writer, and under the section 1 we are going to cover a number of topics, including introduction to WPS and how to download and install WPS Office Suite, the general overview of the WPS platform. We look at the formatting text, how to format text, how to format paragraph, how to add headers and footers in WPS Office Suite, how to write equations, complex equations, how to insert and format tables, how to deal with images and shapes, how to add them and format them accordingly, how to insert hyperlinks, how to insert and format charts of different types, and how to insert watermark, how to add line numbers. And then we'll move on to look at page breaks, how to add page breaks in WPS Office Suite. And then we'll look at page borders and colors and page colors. Okay, we'll look at this in details as well. We'll look at multiple columns, how to create multiple columns within a particular document. And we're going to look at page margins and orientations. And then table of content, how do we generate table of content and automatically update it as we write in WPS Office Suite. And then we're going to look at review features. How do we review a particular document between a lecturer and a student? How do you review and send your reviews to the student, and how does the student accept or reject the review we're going to look in detail about the review features in WPS Office Suite. And then we're going to look at changing the view options. How do we change the various views of the various views options within WPS to have the best usage of the WPS Office Suite? And then we're going to look at how to add a cover page and how to use the find and replace feature within WPS Office Suite. And then lastly, we're going to look at the WPS special features, how to convert Word documents to PDF, from PDF to text, from PDF to images. We're going to look at all that and how to export your files from Word from document to PDF or thereabout. So this is going to be in detail. So the course is designed strictly for beginners, people who have no even prior experience in using a computer or in document creation and editing. With just minimal knowledge of computer operations and mobile device, you should be able to use this software very effectively. I would like to sincerely thank you for joining me in this course, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Okay, so in this class, we are going to look at how to download and install WPS Office Suite. So to download and install WPS Office Suite, all you need to do is to come to your browser, open your browser and come to the search bar over here. You can search for Google if you want. You can come down here and just search for WPS Office Suite, just like so, and you can just hit enter. And you can see it over here, the first one, WPS Office Suite, free office download for PC, mobile, and all that. It's an office suite for Microsoft Windows, and it's an all-in-one Microsoft Office suite that integrates Word docs, PDF, Excel, and spreadsheets, and even PowerPoint. Okay, all in one. It encompasses all in one. So the first thing that comes in is WPS.com. You can see it over here. So once you click on WPS.com, it is going to bring you to this website. Okay, so you can see free all-in-one WPS, and you can just go ahead and download it from here. You can just go through it and install. It's very easy to download and install. So once you download from here, you can just go ahead and install. Free all-in-one Office Suite for Mac updated. Okay, so it has automatically detected that the system that I'm using is Mac, so it has given me the options for Mac. Okay, a free and powerful suite, writer, spreadsheet, presentation, and PDF toolkit, compatible with all Mac versions and work across Apple devices and support multiple languages. So you can go ahead and click over here to download, and you can just download it directly. And again, it's available for Mac operating system, for Windows operating system, for Android. You can find it on Android as well. Most Androids, they have it, or iOS. You can see they can see them inbuilt in iOS as well as Linux. Okay, so depending on your own operating system, whichever one you have, you can just go ahead, download, install. So you have to create an account. Just go ahead and download, install, and then I'll meet you at the other side. In our next class, we are going to look at the general overview of WPS, how to open it, and what are some of the key basic features that you can have access to once you start WPS. So thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next class. So once you download and install WPS, you can just come all the way to the launch pad over here. You can just click and you can come over, you can see WPS over here. Okay, so you can just click to kickstart it, and you'll be welcome to this very platform. So the first thing you will see is that you will be prompted to the recent items. Here you can see all the recent documents that you've opened or you've worked on recently, and you can come here to see the starred ones. Okay, documents that you've worked on and you've starred, you can see it over here. The document that you are shared with, okay, shared with me, you'll find them over here, and shared by me, you will equally find them over here. If you share a document, if a document is shared with you, you can equally find all of them here. And you can work with on the cloud. You can enable auto save on the cloud, so you can just work directly as you're working. It is saving equally on the cloud, and you can have access to your desktop. Okay, all the folders that you have on the desktop, you'll be able to have access to them, and all the files you can have access, and documents as well. You can navigate around to have access to all your files that you have in your document within your system. Okay, and to the left over here, this is at the home tab. You can see you can come to new over here, and you can be able to create a new document. Now it's important to stress out that WPS comes in all in one, like we've stated earlier. You can have the document, which you have Word document, just like so. Document, just like the Microsoft Word version, it is called document in this case. And you can have spreadsheet and presentation, and in each case you can start any document from scratch, okay, from scratch or from a template. You can start from a blank page directly from here by clicking on blank page, or you can see different kind of templates that you can work from, starting from letters. You can see resumes that you can just easily click and customize, invitation letters, work related letters. You can come over here and see many more, and you can see them according to the categories, okay, and just navigate around, and you have the option to just click on any one of them and you can kickstart using them. And then you can have spreadsheet, okay, you can have spreadsheet, different kind of spreadsheet. You can start from a blank page also, and then you can use the templates as well. You can come down and see more, and you see the categories as well. Spreadsheet just functions just like the way Microsoft Excel functions, okay. Most of the cells and the data are just arranged the same way you see in Microsoft Excel. So later we'll see in detail how to use each of these feature. Then we have the presentation. Presentation functions just like the way Microsoft PowerPoint works in Microsoft Office Suite, okay. So you can start from a blank page also, or you can start from different kind of templates be it based on education or business summary or work plan or summary or fresh style or different kind of styles. You can just come over here to see based on the categories how you can start, okay. So next is you have PDF. The PDF options gives you the opportunity to create a PDF, or you can open a PDF document over here, or you can create your own PDF, just like the way you create Microsoft Word. You create a PDF document and you'll be able to work on it and save it everything in PDF. Later I will show you in detail as well how to work on this and create the document directly. And then down here you have other recommended features, like you can convert PDF to Word. You can convert any PDF document to Microsoft Word, or picture to PDF. You can convert PDF picture to PDF, and then you can convert PDF to picture, vice versa, okay, or PDF to Excel, or PDF to PowerPoint. You can do all these conversions, and as we go along in this tutorial I'm going to show you basically how to do all this, okay. So this is just a bit about the general overview of the WPS platform. If you've created a template, you can be able to see it over here, okay, be it on document, be it spreadsheet, be it PowerPoint. You will be able to see the template that you've created over here, or your favorites. You'll be able to find them accordingly. So for now, for this tutorial, this is just a bit about the overview of the platform. In the next class we are going to look at Word document, okay, its overview, and what you need to understand to start using it. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me once again. In this tutorial, we'll look at the Word document, or the document version of WPS. How do we work it? Okay, how do we do some very basic editing in the Word document? But for now, we'll look at the general overview of the Word document platform. So you can come to new, and like I've explained in the previous video, you can start your document from templates like we have shown earlier, or you can start from a blank sheet, which we are going to start at this moment. So you can click on blank sheet and it's going to open a blank piece of paper, just like so, just like the normal piece of paper. You can see this is the A4 type of paper. You can see everything, and just like the way if you have used Microsoft Word before, it's kind of similar to the Microsoft Word arrangement in that you have the paper arranged in A4 size, and you have the home tab where you have the copy and paste option. You can do different kind of copying and pasting. You can copy things from different places and come and paste them in this document. You can do format painter. I will show you how to do format painting, and you can do a lot of text editing. Okay, you can change the font style, the font sizes, and different kind of sizes. You can increase or decrease sizing from here, and you can do with all these other text editing, basic text editing features, like change the color, change the background color, and do some suffix and prefix to your document. You can bold, italize, and underline. You can do all that from here, and different kind of alignment and different kind of arrangement of the text. Okay, you can do different kind of styles from here. You can create your own new styles, or you can come to Microsoft or Word typesetting. Okay, you can do different kind of Word typesetting, or you can do find and replace, or you can change the selector, or you can change very basic settings from here. So just like you have in Microsoft Word, you can come over to the insert features. You can insert different kind of things, from page break to blank page to tables to pictures to shapes, different kind of shapes, pictures. You can insert pictures from your computer or from a PDF document, or picture to document. You can do all that. You can insert directly from external sources. You can add comments in cases when you want to work collaboratively with others, or you can check the charts or word arts if you are interested, and you can check, make envelopes, and you can create header and footer, page numbers, watermarks. You can do all that from here with just simple clicks. So I will show you in detail how to use all of these features. And then you have the page layout, where you can change the orientation of the pages from portrait to landscape, or change the margin. Okay, you have the option to change the margin to any kind of size you are interested in, or you can change the effects, or you can change the columns to one column or 2 columns, and you can have other preferences as well, different kind of preference. You can create table of content from here, different style of table of content. I will show you in detail how to create all this, and footnote, endnote, insert footnote. You can do all that. We'll go into detail about how to use this. And then mailing options, you can insert an open data source, insert different kind of fields, and you can email things or document as you're working on them from here. And then we have review features. In cases when you want to edit your student's document, or you want to review a data, you can be able to insert comments, be it typewritten comment or handwritten comment. You can do that. You can do text to speech, or you can do check word count, or check spell check thereabout, or you can accept or review changes that someone has made in a previous document that you're working on. We're going to look in detail about how to use all that. Then you have the view options. You can change the view to outline view, to web view, to navigation pane. You can play around with the ruler option. You can enable all that from here, and table grid lines, you can enable that. Zoom in and zoom out. You can go to page width and multiple pages, single page. You can change the view from here. And sections, you can add different kind of sections, table of contents, margins. You can change orientations as well as page numbers and header and footer. We've explained some of this in the previous class. And you have special features, okay, where you can convert from PDF to Word to PDF to Excel to PowerPoint. You can export documents in PDF, or you can export them in picture or thereabout. So it's very easy to kind of make use of all these features if you have tried to use the Microsoft Word before. If you have used Microsoft Word before, it's kind of very easy to have access to and use this Word document. So over here you have the other options like the zooming options. You can zoom in and out, and you can scale to fit. If you want everything to be full screen, you can click on this and you'll be able to have it full screen. You can change the percentage. You can increase. Right now it is at 150. You can reduce or increase the zoom level. You can do all sort of alignments thereabout. We'll go in detail. I will show you how to use most of these features. And at the bottom left over here, you have the word count, spell check. You can have character count. You'll be able to see everything, all the details of what you're working on over here. So this is a bit about the general overview of the Word document platform. Okay, in the next class we are going to look at how to bring in text, how to type in text, how to copy and paste text from other platforms, and do some very basic text editing in this very platform. So until next class, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Okay, so welcome back. In this class we are going to look at some very basic text editing or text formatting using WPS Office Suite. So you can see that, like I've explained earlier, the document, we are right now in the WPS document portion. So the first thing you need to do is to save this document. So to save a document, you can come all the way to File over here. Once you're on the file, you can come to Save As, okay, and you can define the location where you want to save it. For example, I want to save it in this location, desktop, and I have this WPS document, and I can just come over here, give my document a name. For example, I can say text formatting in WPS, and then I can save it in this section 1. For example, it's just an example. So you have saved your WPS Word document, and you can see the name that you've given it. And you can start by doing some very basic text editing. So to write a text, you can go ahead and start writing. You can type by the keyboard. You can just you can type anything. As you hit the return key or the enter key, you are going to change to another line, and you can go ahead and write anything accordingly. Alternatively, you can go to any portion or anywhere you have any document. You can copy and bring it in over here and paste it. For example, I have this document. I have this text that I have generated in ChatGPT. I can just come over here and just highlight some portion of it. For example, from this introduction, I can just select and come down up to maybe here and say up to this point, right click and say copy, and I can come back to my WPS, create another line, for example with the return key, and you can go ahead and paste in directly with Ctrl V, or alternatively this is going to paste in with the format that it has came in with. You can come over here, click on this, and you can say keep text only. These are different formats that you can paste document on. You can match the current formats that you're working on in this particular document, or you can keep text only. That's the one I always prefer, to paste the text without any kind of formatting as it is. Okay, so you can see this is the text only, or you can come down and say matching the current format. If it's going to match the current format, then it's going to come in with this haphazard nature. But then you are free to always come over here and do formatted text the way you copy it from the ChatGPT, for example. But alternatively, and the best way, is to keep text only, which is going to keep only the text without any kind of formatting. So this is how to copy and paste and how to write anything. And if you want to edit any portion of the text, you can just navigate with your mouse and just click anywhere, and you can add document, or like you can add any text, or you can delete with the delete key on your keyboard. It's very easy to do that. Or you can highlight by just double clicking within the text. You can double click to select a word, or you can triple click. Okay, with triple click you can select an entire paragraph, and you can go ahead and copy it and paste it somewhere. Or you can select an entire paragraph and just delete it, because you can do anything you want. The pasting also, you have the option over here. You can do the same pasting options that we've explained. You could do paste special, or you can set default pasting from here, or you can do the 3 that we've explained. So this is how to bring in text and how to write text in WPS. Another thing I want to show you is basic editing in text. For example, for you to do any kind of editing within text, all you need is to highlight that text by selecting it and selecting the entire thing within that text. You can just click anywhere and drag to select the text. You can come over here. You have different kind of text editing features, like you can change the font style, different kind of font style, and as you hover over the font, you'll be able to see that the effect is changing on the text that you are having over there. Okay, you can see the fonts that you have selected is being reflected in the text that we've highlighted. Okay, so you can just go ahead, you can change the font style, and you can change the size. Okay, over here you can increase or decrease the size of the text that you've highlighted as well. So if you've highlighted this text and you come to sizing over here, you can increase or decrease the size also. As it is increasing, you can see the preview on the text that you've highlighted. Okay, so right now I think you can keep it here, and we still selected that particular text. You can bold it, you can italize it, you can underline it as you so wish, and you can see it's bolded, it's italicized, and it's underlined. These are just very basic changes or features that you can access. You can strike through if you have the option. If you want the option to strike through, did a single strike through, you can strike through just like when you are editing something, you've edited or you've deleted all this, or you don't want this to in the document. And you can do double striking also if you want. Emphasize strike through, is it a single one, or emphasis mark? You can create emphasis mark if you're interested, or you can do a subscript or superscript. Okay, this is superscript and this is subscript. If you have something like you are writing an equation, later I will show you in detail how to write an equation. So instead of x squared, you can just write x2, and with this you are free to make it a superscript by taking it to be x squared. You can see now you've taken it to the top, or you can do subscript by bringing it to the bottom, just like so. You now bring it to x2, not x1, and you have the option to select any text as well, and you can change the different kind of word art. You can change the coloration and make it look like this, or you can change you can put in shadow effect on as you on the text you have selected, or you can put in reflection effect if you want to add reflection, or glow effect. These are features that you can add, especially when you are dealing with headlines or headings, or you want to deal with specific characters for poster creation or thereabout. And then you can select any document, any part of the text. You can change the color of the text by just coming here. You can select different kind of coloration, and you can go ahead and change it to maybe red color. This is it, or you can change it to any color, maybe green color or this color. Okay, so you can see the color has been changed. And if you want to change the background of this, then you can come over here. This is for background color. You can change the background color of that particular text. You can see you now change the background color accordingly, just like that. Okay, and if you want to remove, you can always come over here and say no color, and it's going to remove the background color as well. Okay, so you can see it. So it's very easy to play around with the text. Over here you can, this is eraser if you want to clear formatting in any text. Okay, so you can select the text, something like this, and you want to clear all the formattings, you can just click and you can see it is back to the way it was when it was pasted. And if you want to play around with the caps, you can change the case, or you can do enclosed character or character border. You want to create character border or phonetic guide. Let's say you want to change the case of this. You are free to change it to sentence case or lowercase or uppercase. You can do or toggle case between upper and lower case. Let's say we want to change everything to uppercase. With just one click, everything is going to be converted to uppercase. You can see everything has been done. Okay, so if you want to do character shading, then you can come over here. Alternatively, if you want to increase the size of any text that you've selected, you can use these two features. The first one is to make it bigger, and the second one is to make it smaller. You can use both of them to increase or decrease the sizing. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this class on basic text editing in WPS Office Suite. In our next class, we're going to look at paragraphing formatting, okay, where we are going to have the option to use all of these features like the numberings, the page numberings, the paragraphing numberings, the alignments, and different kind of features. I'm going to show you in detail how to use all this. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at paragraph formatting in WPS. So assuming we have this document, okay, that we've just copied and pasted this document from somewhere, and we are trying to play around with the paragraphing issues. Okay, so you can see up here we have the paragraphing issues. Okay, everything is at the home tab. You have the option to play around with the numbering, which is the first one. You can see we have different kind of bulleting. Okay, different kind of bullets. You can increase, you can insert bullets of different types. You can see different kind of bullets. So assuming we want to insert for this very simple list of text, you can come over here, select them, and come over here and put this kind of bullet format. You can see the formatting, or you can change it to this type if you are interested, or you can change it to this tick type if you are interested, depending on the kind of bullet you are interested in. Or you can come over here and set numbering. You can have different kind of numbers, 1 2 3, just like so, or 1 2 3 separated by different kind of bracket. So you can use this. You can see it as just separate them. Or you can have 1 2 3 in Roman numerals of different types, small letters, you can see. Or you can have 1 2 3 but then of ABC, just like so. You can have them in ABC format, and you can have them in ABC separated by brackets as well. So it all boils down to you how you want it. For example, so this is the first one, assigning bullets and numbers to any list. Okay, so you can select any text and you can do all sort of alignments from here. You can align left. Right now everything is aligned left. You can see it at default. You can align right. If you click, you can see it has been aligned right. Everything now is centered to right. Or you can align align center. So this align center, this is align right, and everything is now centered, is now at the straight line from the right angle. You can see it over here. Or you can do justification by just clicking here, and it's going to readjust everything to fill up the edges. Okay, you can see it professionally done. Or you can extend to fill up everything. You can stretch around to make everything fill up to stretch the text or the wordings around, so it's just filled up the entire thing. Okay, so you can see everything is now fixed to at both ends. Or you can play around with this line spacing by just clicking on this. You can, this is the default is at 1.0, which is single line spacing. You can make it 1.5, and you can see the spacing, the vertical spacing in between the lines have increased. In cases, in some cases when you are writing project or thesis, you may require to go to double line spacing, and that's when you come to 2.0, and you can see the spacing has actually increased to 2.0 across different kind of lines. So this is the feature that you're going to use to increase or decrease the line spacing as you so wish. So for now, I'm going to keep it at 1.5, and over here at the top you can play around with the indenting. Right now you can press this one to increase the indenting, which means to move inwards from the main bar or main end. You can move the paragraph inside. You can keep moving inside if you want. You can see you can keep increasing the indenting, or you can reduce it by using this feature to reduce the indenting, and you back to where you started. So it all depends on what kind of writing or what kind of criteria you are using in your write-up, and you can be able to do that and adjust accordingly. Next we have the character scaling. Okay, this one you have the character scaling. You can combine characters, everything in one place, 2 line in one. Okay, you can do 2 line in one, or you can fit a text to a particular place or to a particular width. Okay, you can do character scaling also. You can increase this character to 66, or you can decrease it to 66, because previously it's at 100. You can decrease it to 66, or you can increase it to 200, which is going to increase the sizing or scale it up directly. Or you can do combine characters or combine 2 line in one. For example, you can select these 2 lines and everything is going to be in one line. You can come here, combine 2 lines in one, and it's going to pop up that you are going to combine this into one line, and you say yes, and you can see everything is now converted into one line as you write accordingly. So these are just some very basic features. You can feel free to go around to continue to try them, to play around with them and see how you can use them. Over here you have the sorting. You can sort from A to B or 1 to 10. You can do sorting from here, and you can show and hide editing marks in cases when you have when you want to show and hide editing marks. Editing marks actually enable you to know you can show editing marks, so you can see the editing marks. They are very small, but you can see them, and you should be able to know that at this point you have this kind of editing, at this point you have this kind of editing, and in between each word you can see the marks. The points are showcasing when you have created a space in between the words, or there's a character in between the words. You should know when you make a mistake of having two spacing between words. You'll be able to know by just the by these signs. Okay, it's very easy to do that. And then you can apply shading from here using this, and you can apply different kind of borders and different kind of border lines. You can see bottom border if you want to add bottom border, or you can add all borders from here if you want to have, or you want to have outside border, just like so. By just clicking you have the outside border, or you can come over here and say all borders, and it's going to create border across the text that you've highlighted. And you can play around with the ruler option over here. Okay, if you need to insert a tab, you can just go ahead and insert a tab from this feature. Okay, so but paragraphing in general, this is just a bit about how to deal with paragraphing and the text editing, also advanced text editing, incorporating paragraphing and all that. In the next class, we're going to look at how to add headers and footers. Okay, how to add headers and footers in WPS. It's very easy, but it's very fantastic as well to learn how to do it. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at how to add header and footer in WPS Office Suite. So to add a header and footer, we've just created this document. If you have remembered from the beginning, just a normal text that we have. So if you want to add a header and footer, all you need to do is to come from the Home tab over here to the Insert tab. You can come to Insert, and you have the option to insert header and footer over here. You can see header and footer. Once you select header and footer, the header and footer option is going to come in directly from here, and you can see it directly from here. This is header and footer. So header and footer, as a tab here, you can see all the different features that you have access to as you are writing the header and footer. So you can insert page numbers if you want. There are different kind of formats to insert page numbers. You can do entire document, you can do from current page, or you can do from a section. You can apply the position of the numbering, okay, from left, center, right, outer, inner. You can do all that, and you can have different kind of format in the page numbering. You can see different kind of numbers from 1 to 2, 1 with dashes, 1, 2, 3 with dashes, and you have page 1, page 2, page 1 of 2, page 1, 3 of 5, page 3 of 10, or thereabout. You can do all that, and you can see different kind of formatting and arrangement. Once you select OK to this, it's going to take in as the format of the page number. Now page number also you can insert from here. Once you have the header and footer enabled, you can come over here. You can see different kind of styles like we've just explained earlier. You can delete a page number if you want, or you can insert it directly. Assuming I want to insert at the top head left, okay, or you can do bottom, just like the way we have in our normal document, footer middle. So you can just select on this, and you can see page 1 and page 2 arranged over here. Okay, so if you want to have show header line, you can even include the header line. For this, you can show header line. Once you select, it's going to have the lines at the header. You can see it's going to have the lines at the header. All the headers are going to have this line defined, and at this moment I don't want to show it, so you can say delete line, and it's gone. You can have add text. You can do page X if you want, page Y of page, total of page of total of Y page X of Y. So you say page X means page 1, page 2, just like so. And if you want to do page X of Y, which means page 1 of 2, because there are 2 pages here, and this is the first one. This is page 2 of 2. So you can delete the other one. Okay, you have to delete first. You have to come over here and delete page numbering. So after you've deleted, then you can come over here and say page X of Y. So this is page 1 of 2, and then you can come page 2 of 2 or thereabout. You can see the arrangement that we've selected at the top right, top left of the page. That's when you see it. And if you want, you can add date and time. You can click to add date and time, and you'll be able to select between the different available formats. Is it this normal date time, or with the date just like so, Sunday, June 11, 2023, or 2023, this format. But let's say we're going with this format, United States, the language, and you can update automatically as the document is being opened in another date, maybe for example at a subsequent date, not today. You can click on OK, and it's going to insert that date for you if that's what you want. Or you can equally select it and move it somewhere. Okay, you can move it somewhere with the tab key. If you want, you can keep it at the extreme end, or define wherever you want to put it within the document, and it's going to be there throughout the header and throughout the header. Okay, so you can have date and time, or if you have any picture that you want to insert, you can insert from a file, from picture to text, or from a PDF, picture to PDF, or you can insert from other devices as well. You can bring in text, or you can bring in your image from a file, and you can just easily attach it directly. So for example, I want to insert this, put this as one of the images in my header. All you need is just to bring it in, and then you can scale it down to smaller size, so you can just fit in. And maybe you want to add your logo or thereabout, or your company logo or thereabout, you can make it smaller. And you can see you can crop it. Also, the different features that you have, you can crop it, or you can convert the picture to text or picture to PDF. You can do all that from here. So this is still on header and footer, so you can still come back to the header and footer, and you can see we're still on the header and footer. Once you double click, okay, so you have the option to switch between header and footer. You can switch between, you can change the fields, or you can come to previous header. If you want it to have previous header or next header, you can also insert accordingly. You can do header and footer options. You can change, you can check, and you can increase or decrease the height from here if you want, or you can insert alignment tab if you are interested in that. You can come over here to do page setup. You can arrange the pages accordingly. So it's very easy to insert header and footer. All you need is just to understand that this feature works perfectly as you want it. You can delete a page number. You can change the format like we've explained, and you can rebuild the page number directly from here. Okay, continue numbering or thereabout. And once you're done, you can come over here and close. And if you want to delete any page number like I have shown, you can come over here and just delete the page numbering directly. Okay, so it's very easy. Once you're done editing the page header and footer, you can either double click out, or you can come over here and close, and you have whatever you have as your header and footer, just like we've explained. Okay, so I think that does it for this class on how to insert header and footer. So thanks for watching. In the next class, we're going to look at how to write some basic equations in WPS document. Until that time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to cover how to write equations in WPS Office Suite. We're going to start with how to write basic equations, okay, to complex equations. So we're going to write these equations directly that we have. This is equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. These are just images that I copied and pasted just for illustration purposes. Okay, so we're going to write them in detail. Okay, how to write them complete using WPS. So the first thing is we can come anywhere below here. We can just click to just give us ourselves a space. We're going to write this 11 plus x over x cubed plus 2x plus into 5 minus 3. So all you need is to come to insert. If you want to start writing any equation, you can see insert, and you can come over here. These are the two things you need. Either a symbol, these are a list of symbols that you can bring in at any given point, or you can come to equations directly. If you click on this small drop down or this arrow, you can see built-in equations that you can use. If you have used the equation editor in Microsoft Word, it's something very, very similar. You can see the very basic equations that you can have access to. You can see them, the Taylor expansions, the trigonometry functions, and the Fourier series. You can see all of them over here, the binomial theorems, you can see all of them. But then in this case, we want to write this very basic equation. Okay, so you can come to equation, click over here, and you can see the equation editor. This is where you're going to do all of your typing. And by selecting equation, you can see it enables the equation toolbar. Over here, you have the list of different kind of objects that you can bring in. If you want to have access to the previous equations like we've explained, you can see them from here. These are different kind of features or objects that you can bring into, or operations you can bring into your equations. And then over here you have the different functions like fractions. You can see the arrangement for fractions, different kind of fractions. You can see scripts, you can see superscripts, subscript, and all that. Different kind of exponential functions, you can write them from here. And you can have radicals with brackets of different types, cube roots, square roots. You can see them over here. You can write different kind of brackets over here. And then we have the integrals. These are different kind of integrals with different limits. Okay, as extends to from 0 to something, you can define the limit. And any kind of integral, you can see them over here and you can define directly. And we have the large operators. Okay, if you have large operators, you can see the features. All you need is just to select and bring it in, and then you can define the rest of the feature. And then you have different types of brackets. Okay, different kind of brackets are over here if you want to add any bracket. You have sine functions, the trigonometric functions, the sine, cosine, and the tan functions. And accents, you have different kind of accents over here, as well as limits. You can see limits as x turns to the log functions, operator functions, you can find them over here, and the matrix functions also, you can see them, different kind of matrix in cases when you are designing a matrix. But for this one, we are just going to write this simple equation, 11 plus x. So at the moment, we can see that this is a fraction, the first function, the first feature over here. This is a fraction. So you can come to fraction over here and just click, and we have this little fraction. So you can see at the numerator level, you have 11 plus x, 11 plus x. So you can have plus x. Okay, come down to the denominator and you have x cubed. So this is subscript, so you can come to subscript over here and you click on this one because this is subscript. So you can put x, and then you can go to the subscript function and put the cube, and then you can come all the way here to the end. Okay, and this is when you insert the plus sign, and you can come and put 2x plus 2x into, now you have a bracket. You can insert bracket, you can manually or from your keyboard, or you can come here. This is a normal bracket, so into, then you can come back here and say 5 minus x. Okay, and you can see now we've just written this equation perfectly. 11 plus x over x cubed plus 2x into 5 minus x. You can see this is very perfectly written in WPS. Now let's go into this a bit more complex equation to write with it. So let's click on enter to create the space that we're going to write. So you can, so as usual, you can come to insert, go to equation, and then you can start writing. So this one also on its entirety, it's a function, it's a fraction. You can come over here and come to fraction. So the numerator, this is when you have the negative b, and then you have plus or minus. So you can come to this. Okay, you should be able to have plus or minus here. You can see it over here, plus or minus. Then you have square root of, so you can come to square root over here. Square root of what? So you can come down inside the square root of, you have now this superscript b squared. Okay, so you can come over here and say b squared, and then you can come down, okay, with the arrow, and then put minus 4ac, 4ac, and then you can come everything inside the bracket and all over 2a. You can see this is perfectly written, and this is the equation rewritten in this format. Okay, so let's go to the more complex one, which is this one with the limit function. So you can just click. It's very easy to write, so you can still come down to insert, go to equations, and then you can come to this function. The first one, the left hand side is a fraction, so you can come to the fraction part and just write the f. You can come to the denominator, and the t. Okay, so you can now see the f dt, and then you can use the arrow sign and put the equal sign. This is equal to, now this is a limit function, so you can come over here. Where is the limit function? This one. You come to limit. So this is limits, but then you have to define it. So limit as h turns to 0 of something. So this is the function we're after. You can come to limit as h turns to 0, so h with an arrow, so you can come and select this arrow that says turns to 0, and then we can have the next function over here written in this. So this is the next function, and you can see the entirety of the function is a fraction. So you can come over here and select this fraction, and at the top here you can put the fraction. This is f into t plus h, so you can see f, you can come to brackets over here into t plus h, so you can see t plus h, and then outside you have minus f of t, and then you can do the same brackets, okay, and then put your t inside f of t, and then you can come down to denominator. You can come down to denominator and then put in this h. This is all over h. So now this function is now rewritten in this. So the whole idea is for you to know how and which of the equations you are going to write, how is it going to be written. You can just write it directly. Okay, so in cases if you have to include any kind of character, you can symbol, you can also bring them different kind of symbols from here. In cases if you can't find them in the equation symbols, you can always bring them in from here. You can click to see more symbols if you're interested in seeing more symbols, and you can see them can check the different fonts, and you can check the different character. If you are interested in special characters, you can see them. Custom symbols, you can see them as well from here. Okay, symbols, you can come also subset. You can see Latin supplement, Latin hyper extension. You can check all the different kind of number forms. You can see different kind of symbols from here. Okay, so basically this is how to write an equation and insert symbols and objects. I hope you enjoyed this video. In our next class, we're going to look at how to insert tables in WPS Office Suite, how to insert and format tables in WPS Office Suite. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so in this class, we're going to look at how to insert and format tables in WPS Office Suite. So to start with, all you need to do is to identify the place where you want to insert the table. Assuming I want to insert my table here, okay, I can just create this space and can come back to the top over here, and we can start inserting the table by coming from home to insert, and you can see tables over here. Okay, so you can click on this small drop down, and just like the way you work in Microsoft Word to insert tables over there, is the same way. You can see the table definition. This is 1 by 2. This is 3 by 5, which means 3 rows, 5 columns. Okay, you can do 10 by 5 by 7, 5 rows, 7 columns. But for this case, I want to insert something simple like a 3 by 4 table. So you can just see I have just inserted a 3 by 4 table. And it's very easy to add more cells across, maybe rows and columns. If you want to add more rows, you can come to the plus sign over here. You can just click and you can see you've added a row. You can keep adding, okay? And if you want to add columns, you can just come to this plus sign and you can just hover over it and keep adding more columns. And if you want to remove, there are different ways to remove it. You can come over here, select a given section, and you can come over here and delete, because once you select the table, you can see the table tools over here just enabled, and everything that has to do with table have been enabled over here. So anything you want to edit, if you want to delete this column, you can just select, you can come over here and click on delete, and it's going to prompt in that which one do you want to select. You want to delete the column, or you want to delete the rows, or you want to delete the table in its entirety. So let's say you want to delete this column, and you can see it has just deleted the column for us. And if you want to delete a row, you do the same thing. You can just highlight the row. Okay, so say assuming I want to delete these 2 rows, you can come to delete, and you can say delete rows, and you can see it has deleted just like so. So alternatively, also you can hover over any row. You can see the negative sign, which means delete. Okay, the positive sign, which means addition. Okay, so later I will show you in detail how to add different kind of things like the header. So let's say we can add different text inside our table. Okay, so let's say we add some text in the table. So let's say we have this text we've added. We can add numbers. So let's say we have these functions. Okay, let's say we have this text added into our table. So we can select the table. We can select the entire top row and just make it, you can bold it. Let's say we can bold this section. Okay, so we have bolded this section. This is the headers, and then this is the side rows. You can adjust the length of the rows by just selecting. You can select and right click, and you can come over here and have different features. For example, you can do auto fit to content or auto fit to windows. So whatever is in that table is going to be fitted automatically to the table or to the windows or to the content that you've created. Okay, based on the content, everything is going to be readjusted. So for example, if I say auto fit to content, you see everything is being readjusted. So let me undo this, and if you can come over here also and right click, you can come also and say auto fit to windows, and it's going to adjust everything to fill up the spacing within the windows. So you can come also over here and still right click, and you have the option to do pasting, copy features. You can copy the table and paste it somewhere, or you can insert different kind of things. For example, you can insert a column to the left, column to the right, rows to the above, rows below, or you can do different kind of, or you can delete the table or delete a particular cell, just like we have explained. Later I will show you how to merge a particular cell and create different kind of splits in cells. Okay, so let's say we select this text, and assuming at this moment I want this function, these tables, these two to be merged to one. these two cells to be matched. So all I need is to select the cells. I can right click in them and say match cells. Okay, match cells, and everything is now from 2 cells to 1. So let's say this is 34 and this is one cell. Okay, so if you want to split it into 3 also, you can do that. Split cells, for example, this one cell I want to split it into 3. So all I need is to select it, right click and say split cells. So now I can define the number of columns that I want, assuming I want it to have 3 columns and 1 row. Okay, just like we've explained, this is 1 row. So you can see now it's been divided into 3. So you can have maybe equation 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so depending on how you or what you are writing or what kind of content you have, you can always play around with the functions, the table, the cells. You can split, or you can select everything here and just match everything into one cell. So just like so, select and match cells, and everything now becomes 1. You can select the entire table and you can change the format. Okay, table properties, you can see different kind of formats over here. You can select table properties and you'll be able to see table rows. So these are different properties, like the alignment left, text wrapping. You can do text wrapping directly, or you can check the row format, specify the row height if you have a specific height you are targeting, or you can do columns, specify the column width if you have any column, any special column that you are targeting. And the cells also, you can define them. Okay, the top, right and center, the vertical alignment when you write or when you type a text, the default is it remains at the top, but once you select this, it's going to be centered automatically. Whatever you write, it's going to be centered in the table. Okay, so once you say okay to this, you can see everything is now centered around that particular cell. So you can do different kind of things. You can erase, you can select this eraser and you can erase manually different cells. For example, you can select this and you can see it has been erased. And you can select this also, you can erase directly, or you can select this, you can erase that particular line within the table. So manually you can format or customize your own table. And if you want to draw a table manually, you can come also to draw table, select it, and you can be able to click just to draw direct, and you can draw on your own manually. You can see, just drag and drop, and now you've created another cell while the draw selector is there. Okay, so you can see from here, you can still draw, you can just drag, and you can see you can draw any kind of cell you can see from here. Okay, so very easily you can draw accordingly, or you can insert anything inside. So within the particular cell, you can draw, okay, to just connect. If you like, you can draw manually, okay, on your own to just connect and reconnect the tables. And you can see now we've just drawn everything. So once you come back, you're done drawing, you can just come over here, click on this, and the selector is gone. So you can insert rows above. Can select anything. For example, this one, you can insert a row above, you can insert above, you can insert below, whatever you want to insert. You can insert rows below, you can insert this one be above, you can insert all that. You can insert to the left, you can insert the same thing to the right. If you want, you can do all that. Okay, so let me undo, and you can do different kind of things. You can split cells and split columns, split cells and split tables accordingly from here. You can do auto fit like we've explained in the right click function. You can do auto fit to content, to windows, to rows and columns. You can switch if you like. You can switch the rows and columns as well. You can change different kind of text font styles, sizing, bolding, italicizing of a particular function in the table by just selecting the table. Okay, by just selecting the table, and you can change all that from here, from the font style in the table in its entirety to the underlining, bolding, italicizing and text sizing of the text that are involved in this very table. Okay, so you can do text direction as well. You can change the direction of the text accordingly, just like so. And you can do fast calculations. You can search different kind of borders, head rows, and convert table to text. You can do all that from here. It's very easy. So I think this does it for that does it for this tutorial on how to insert table and do different kind of formatting with the table. Okay, it's very easy to play around with it. You can just once you want the table feature to come back, you can just come to the top here, and all the features that you're supposed to do the basic editings with it are going to come out. You can sort, you can do all sort of things from here. Okay, so I think that does it for this tutorial on how to insert and format your tables. In the next class, we're going to look at how to insert and format shapes and images in WPS Office Suite. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at how to insert images and shapes in WPS Office Suite. Okay, so to insert images, all you need is to specify the location where you want to insert the image directly. Assuming I want to insert my image at this point, so all I need from the home tab over here, I can come to insert, and you can see picture over here. So you can go ahead and click on this small drop down, okay, this small arrow, and you can have to insert from a file. But in my own case, I always insert my images from a file within my system, so you can just navigate to wherever you have that particular text or that particular image that you want to insert. Assuming I want to insert this how to make images talk, which is my latest video previously that I've just posted in my channel, you can go ahead and click on open to insert that particular image, and you can see it clearly inserted in our WPS Office. Now, one thing you should pay attention to is once you insert an image, you can see the image tab and the picture tools enabled over here. So you have a range of different features to access as regards this particular picture. But before we go into deep or into the details about this, you have the quick access toolbar that you can access directly from here. For example, you can change the alignment, the layout options of this particular image. You can put it in line with the picture, just like now the default is it's in line with the picture, and you can wrap it at the top of the picture in a square format, or tight within the picture, or you can tight it through the picture in case it's through the text, or above the text, in front of the text if you want to move it across. So if I put it in front of the text, it means I can move it across the text and nothing will happen. You can see, and my text is not going to be displayed. And I can still come back here and select in tight with text, and everything is going to be very tight with the text. And as I move the text, you can see the image also is going to move with it. So you can come over here for effective usage. You can always put it in front of the text, so you can move around and specify its locations. For example, you can just come over here, bring it down, and just make sure that the image is positioned here. So this is the first thing, the quick access toolbar, the layout option, and then you have the preview option, picture preview. Once you click on this, it's going to preview the picture, how it's going to show in your own document, how clear it's going to show. You can always view it, and you can click out to come out, and you can use the crop feature. So crop feature enable you to crop the image across, and crop from any angle. So once you're done cropping, you can just click out, and you can see the image is just cropped. Okay, so if you want to take it back, the advantage of cropping and deleting is that cropping, once you double click and come to crop again, you can crop it back to where it started. Okay, so you can see you can now crop it back to any location of your choice. So you can undo this and take your image back to where it is. Okay, so you can see as you double click, you can convert the text to Word, or you can picture to PDF. You can do all the conversions from here. But now let's go in detail into the picture tools that you have access to once you double click on any image that you are working on. So the first thing is you have the add picture. If you want to add a picture, you can just add it directly from another location, or you can click here, you can add from the different features that we've explained. You can replace this particular picture by selecting it, coming over here, you can replace it with another picture. So assuming I have this this other picture, I can just quickly replace it with it, and you will just see with just one click you can see it has replaced. You can compress the picture if you don't want the sizing. You can do the cropping. You can crop with different size over here, different kind of shapes. You can use different kind of shapes. The default is the rectangular cropping, but if you want, you can do polynomial cropping. You can crop across the lines, okay, different kind of shapes, just like so. Okay, you can just go ahead and give it a try to see how you can crop it in that particular line. You can see right now we've cropped in this direction, but I don't like it like this. But the key thing is you can crop in any angle of your choice. And then you can have the picture enlargement. You can enlarge it. You can play around with the margins. You can play around with the sizing. Okay, you can increase the width and the bottom width. Okay, You can lock the aspect ratio for any further increase or changes. You can reset the size if you want. You can set transparent color in cases when you want to change the color to transparent. You can change the color to automatic to grayscale, and with just one click you can see everything is now being changed to grayscale. And you can play around with the different kind of brightness and contrast features. You can just go ahead and increase and decrease the contrast. Okay, in cases when you say automatic, you can play around with the contrast nature. You can increase or decrease the contrast of the image. Okay, accordingly you can see it is changing, and you have different kind of bunch of effects that you can play around with from the image, like the shadow effect. If you want to add the shadow effect, you can see it. You can add different kind of soft edges, 3D edges, or the view. You can change the view to any of your choice. You can go ahead and play around with it. You can add some reflections if you want, just so that it can appear. It all boils down to you. You can go ahead and play with it accordingly. You can put picture outline. If you want to put in the outline, you can come down here and insert different kind of outlines and put in different kind of lines accordingly. You can reset the picture to where it was or how it started. You can rotate different angle 90 degrees to the left. Okay, you can rotate or flip horizontal if you want to do the flipping as well. But I don't want to do all this, but it's up to you. You can change the grouping. You can group the text, the images. If you have more than one, you can group them, and you can put in the alignments, different kind of alignments depending on the location you have, and bring forward to backward depending on if you want to put it in layers. Okay, if you have other text or you want to bring it below the text or above the text, you can do all that from here and do different kind of picture to text or picture to PDF converting. You can do all that from here. So this is all about how to import and manage your images or pictures in WPS. Let's try to import and manage, to insert, to learn how to insert different kind of shapes in WPS. So to insert shapes is the same way. From the home tab, you can come to insert shapes. You can come to shapes over here. You can see these shapes. You can insert different kind of shapes, like you have the preset from lines to rectangles to basic shapes to block arrows to equation shapes or anything, flow charts. You can do all that from here. So let's say we start with basic lines. You can just select a line and come over here and start drawing. Okay, it's very easy. You can start drawing and you specify the position of it also from here. You can see you've just drawn an arrow. If you want, you can come over still to insert, and you can insert this shape. Maybe you want this rectangle, you can insert a rectangle. And once you select a shape, you can see the shape feature over here, the drawing feature. You can play around with the coloration of it. Okay, the inside color. Okay, and the fill or the fill color. You can change it over here and change it to any color of your choice. And the outline color as well, you can play around with it. You can change it to any color, and you can play around with the thickness of the width. Okay, you can see right now it's at 1 point. You can come to 3 points, or you can come to 4.5 points, and you can see it is increasing accordingly with the page numbering, with the border sizing. Okay, so you can do multiple things like the eyedropper. If you want to have a particular color from somewhere inserted into this, you can use the eyedropper feature. Okay, so for example, right now you can come to the fill color. You can see eyedropper. So where do you want? Assuming I want this yellow color inside this as the fill color, so I can come to the yellow color anywhere. I can see this is the yellow color. I can just select it, and the inside or the border becomes yellow automatic. If I want the inside to be yellow also, I can come to the fill color, come to eyedropper, and then select the yellow portion of it, or the red portion, just this one, and just click, and everything becomes red. So that's how easy and fantastic it is. You can use the format painter or shape effects also. You can add all these shape effects, the glowing, the reflections, the shadow, and all that, and you can play around with the alignments, different kind of alignments of the shapes. Okay, and you can specify the position as well. If you have grouping, you can select multiple shapes and group them. You can select with just the whole of a shift key in Mac, and you can group them accordingly. You can group just like so, and when you want to move them, you can now move them together. Okay, so let me show you. You can just select, and you can now move the two of them together because they are grouped. If you want to ungroup also, you can just select, and you can come to the grouping and say ungroup, and you can see it's now ungrouped, and you can move individually the shapes. Okay, you can play around with the position also, bring forward or backward, or you can wrap it around the text. Okay, square or in line with text, just like the default that we've explained in shapes. In images, that it comes in line with text. You can put it behind text or in front of text if you want to move it across text without tampering with the text. So just like this one, you can see it's now in front of text. That's why we're able to move it across without having any effect on the text. So this is basically how to insert any shape. Okay, you can insert anything and play around with its features from here. You can insert text box also within the shape that you've added. Okay, so vertical text box, horizontal text box, you can just insert inside. Okay, inside the shape that you've created, and you can start writing your document accordingly, and you can arrange it to fit in the content within that particular shape. So you can see very nicely you can insert and do virtually anything. So from insert, you can insert anything at all, any shape of your choice. You can come over and just insert it directly. You can select this, and you can see you can draw it very easily, and you can always come back here, select anyone, and you can just insert it and play around with the features. You can have the quick access toolbar also to change the borders, the shape fill, and the shape outline. You can do all that, and the shape style, different kind of style. You can see different kind of styling from here. You can just go ahead and play around with it. So it's very easy and fantastic to play around with shapes and image. So I think this does it for this class on how to insert images and shapes in WPS Office Suite. In our next class, we're going to look at how to insert and deal with hyperlinks within WPS Office Suite. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so welcome back to this class. In this class, we're going to look at how to insert hyperlinks within WPS Office Suite. So to start with, you can just specify where you want to insert the document, or you want to insert the hyperlink. Assuming I want to insert it at this point, so I can say see more here, and I want everything to be within this here. Okay, so you can select and highlight where you want to insert that document or that text or that piece of command on, or that website. Okay, so let's say I want this here, once someone clicks it, to take him to somewhere. So where do you want to insert? So you can select it and come to insert over here, and you can come to hyperlink or at the top right over here. So you click on hyperlink, and this is the hyperlink tab where you can add anything. So this is the first one, the default one. You can add existing file or web page. So if you want to add a web page or an existing file, all you need is just to navigate to wherever that file is. Assuming I want to add something like this picture within this document. Okay, so I select it, and then you can see the address. It's been added to this link. So once I click on OK here, you can see the color of the text has changed, which means if you select the command key or you hold the control key in your keyboard on Windows, on Mac is command. Once you click, it's going to open this image for you directly, which means it's been hyperlinked to that particular text. This image had been hyperlinked to that particular text here. Okay, so once someone click on here, is going to pop up to that. Okay, so if you want to edit, you can just right click and come to edit hyperlink. If you want to insert something else, for example, you don't want to insert a picture, you want to insert a website, you can come over here and say www.epicdigitalacademy.com, for example, and you can just click on OK, and this is going to be, once you want to see more, you click on this, it's going to take you to Epic Digital Academy. So if you click on this, hold down the command key, click on this, and everything is going to take you straight to the Epic Digital Academy. Just like so. So you can see it has just taken you over there, and this is the power of the hyperlinking. You can come over here or right click and say edit hyperlink again, and you can insert places in this document. For example, you want to see more, and the more is at the top of the document or within the header or within a particular bookmark that you've created. Let's say I want anyone that clicked that here to go to the top of the document. I can say OK to this, and once someone click this, once he's working, you just click on this, it's going to bring you to the top of the document, just like so. You can see you're now at the top of the document. So this is the power of the hyperlinking. If you want to remove the hyperlink, you just right click and come to remove hyperlink, or you can copy hyperlink or open hyperlink if you want to open it directly, or you can select the hyperlink and do many more things. So you want to remove, you just click on remove and the text is back to where it was. Okay, so this is the power of hyperlink. You can connect anything, but the key thing to make sure when you want to transfer this document to another document or to another computer, make sure that the directory where you have this hyperlink, maybe a document, maybe a PDF file, is in the same directory with this computer, in the same file with this file that we are working on. Okay, if it's on a different file, then it's not going to open it for you directly, because you can hyperlink even PDF documents. So let's try to hyperlink a PDF document. From here we can say maybe we want to add this my CV. This is a PDF document. You can click on OK and it's been hyperlinked. So once you hold on the command key and click on this, it's going to open that the PDF document directly that we have. Okay, so it's very, very fantastic and easy to go ahead and look at it. Okay, so this brings us to the end of hyperlinking in WPS Office Suite. In the next class, we're going to look at how to customize and add charts. Okay, how to add charts and customize them in WPS Office Suite. Okay, so until next time, thanks for watching and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Alright, so in this class we are going to look at how to insert and format charts in WPS Office Suite. So to insert and format charts, all you need to do is to come to insert over here and you can come to charts over here. Okay, so the first thing is you need to identify the place where you want to insert the chart or the graph or whatever you want to insert. Whatever kind of chart you want to insert, you have to specify the location where you want to insert it directly. So assuming I want to insert my chart here, I can come to insert all the way and come to charts, and once I hit on charts, you can see it's going to pop up with the different kind of charts. For example, we have the column charts where we have this much type. Okay, so you can move around to see samples and you can see these are different kind of column charts. You can see multiple of them, you can see them. Okay, so you have also line charts. If you are interested in line charts, you can see them of different kinds, different styles, depending on your choice and how beautiful you want your graphs to look like. And we have pie charts as well, different kind of pie charts. You can see them across, and you have this pie of pie. Okay, this is pie of pie. You can see them of different types. These are different, they all portray their own way of showcasing a given data. We have bar charts as well of different types. We have area charts of different types if it's what you want. So you have XY scattered. Okay, so you have scattered XY, and you can see different kind of other line graphs over here from the scattered graphs. And we have stock graphs if it is what you want. We have radar, and we have combo graphs, and we have other templates as well to check from. And for this tutorial, let's say we are going with simple bar charts. Okay, so over here we just select the first one and say let's use this one, and you can see it has just imported it for us. So once you imported a chart, you can see the chart tools enabled over here at the top of the ribbon. So you can see the different properties of these particular charts that you've inserted. For example, you can add different kind of elements from here, such as the axis. You can add primary horizontal axis, primary vertical axis if this is what you want. You have the vertical axis, and you can add axis title. Okay, if you have axis title and you're interested in adding axis title, you can just go ahead and select on this, and you can see the axis title over here. So this is for the horizontal axis, and you can add another one for the vertical axis, okay, as well. So you have vertical axis. For example, you want to say this vertical is for something else and this horizontal is for something different. So you can add different kind of you can have data labels. Okay, you can have known, and you can have centered labels, you can have inside end labels,
different types. Okay, you can even go for more options to see the different locations where you can add the data table, data labels. Okay, we have data tables as well. If you want to insert the table at the beneath this particular data, you can also insert it as well. With no legend or with legend, you can insert. And we have arrow bars in cases when you want to showcase or portray the arrow in your tabs, in your charts. Okay, you'll be able to see standard error, percentage error, or standard deviation. You'll be able to showcase all these from here. And then we have the grid lines. Okay, grid lines are good when you are trying to showcase the different points in your chart, very small level. Okay, you may want to show in the variations at precise levels. So grid lines are very important, and we have the horizontal and vertical grid lines, and in some cases you can have both of them enabled. And then we have the legends. Where do you want to position the legends? Usually at the default is at the bottom of the chart. Okay, you can see you can put it at the right. Right now you can see it is now at the right, or you can put it at the left, or you can put it anywhere you want, but at the left is good, but then it's affecting the graph. It shows the graph a little bit smaller, so you can put it maybe either at the top or at the bottom is good. So let's have it at the bottom. I think it's kind of cool at this point. And then you have the trend line. In cases when you are plotting points, you may be able to directly plot the trend line depending on what kind of graphs you are plotting. But in the bar chart, in case of bar chart, you may not be able to plot a trend line. Okay, so over here you have the quick layout where you can have those features that we've just talked about enabled, and you'll be able to see as you hover over any of them, you'll be able to see the results. Even the one showing the points at the end of it all, you can see them directly. And you have different kind of formats. You can just click on this and you'll be able to see different styles, different theme to the charts that you can add directly. For example, if I like this, I can just quickly select it, and you can change the chart type from here. If this is not what you want, you can easily come over here and you change according to the ones that we've just highlighted. So you can change it very easily. And you can select a given data or edit the data on your own, or you can come to the chart, right click anywhere and say edit the data, and it's going to prompt in to this particular place where the default data that was used to plot this chart is from. So you can see over here the main source of the data for this plotting. So if you know your graph or your chart is something like this, then you can come over here and change the values and change the labels as well, so you can have a very cool graph. So for example, at this moment you can change this from category to something like trials. Okay, and you can see automatically it's updated directly. And category 3, maybe I want it to be results. Okay, something like that, and you can see quickly it updates the results. So you can easily change everything, including the series. You can come to series 1 and you can give it another name, for example, and you can change the variables as well. For example, from 2.5 you can make it 5 over here, and everything is going to change on this particular chart. Okay, so you can see this is series 1, series 2, series 3, just like so. Series 1, series 2, and series 1, series 2, series 3, depending on the variation. So you can see in each category we have series 1, series 2, series 3. So you can change the data from here, and you can change the axis definitions also from here. And then you can play around with the layout options. You can move it in line with text, this particular chart, or you can move it, you can wrap it in front of text or below the text or thereabout, or you can wrap it tight around a text. Okay, it all boils down to you, however you want it. And then you can define the chart title as well from here. So you can just say a graph of category, or a chart of category with series. Okay, so you can select, you can click out and select this particular one, and you can move it across within the chart. So it's very easy to kind of select, and you can change different kind of things. You can change the type of you can enable or disable the different chart elements also from here. Data table, you can just with just one click and you'll have everything down here. So you can, this is more or less like a shortcut. As you change the values from here, they equally affect on the chart as well. Okay, so this is one way to create the chart. Down here you have the sorter. You can be able to sort the data, okay, accordingly, and you can come to these settings to be able to open for more settings that you can play around with. So you can go ahead and give it a try and see how you can play around with different features and different kind of charts. let me just give you one more example of a chart that you can play around with, depending on what kind of research or what kind of data you are trying to come across. So you can come to insert, always come to chart, and you can go to maybe a pie chart, for example. You can select this one, this first one, and you can see the different charts. Okay, these are different elements. You can see first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. If you need more, you can still get more. Okay, so you can see you can change the coloration and change the type of charts accordingly, and you can double click at any given point to have the access to these effects. For example, the fill and line color, what kind of color do you want to play around the effects? What kind of effect do you want? The series, what kind of series do you want? You can click also to have a look at some of the very basic features. You can always right click and come to edit data, and it's going to pop into that particular source of the data that we've just talked about in this particular pie chart. Okay, so you can just go ahead and change the value in the first quarter, change the value in the second quarter, and change the value in the third quarter. For example, once you say 5 here, everything is going to change directly on this. Okay, so this is kind of very easy to use and very easy to play around with. So you can have it pasted in your document at any given point. You can always resize by coming to the edge and dragging and make it smaller. All right, so this is just a bit about the charts in WPS Office Suite. In our next class, we're going to cover how to insert watermarks within the WPS Office Suite document. Okay, different kind of watermark. We're going to learn how to insert and play around with the features as well. So until that time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Alright, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to cover how to insert watermark within WPS Office Suite. So assuming you have your document opened over here and you want to insert watermark just to protect it against usage by other personnel or by other students or by your friends or colleagues in the office, you want to protect this document and make it confidential, or you just want to make it that this is just a review copy just for the professionalism's sake. So all you need is to make sure that you open your document in WPS, and you can come to insert as well, and you can come all the way to watermark down here. You can see watermark and you have this small arrow. You can just click on it. You have different kind of presets when it comes to watermark. For example, this is confidential. Once you click on it, the entire document now becomes confidential. You can see this is confidential, this is confidential, this is confidential. On all the pages, it now takes in this faded confidential, which appears behind the text. Okay, so if you don't want this, you can just come all the way again and back to the watermark again, and you can see you can change it to different kind of, this is not original, or this is original. You can see or this is urgent. You can just select on any of them. This is urgent, this is urgent, depending. Okay, so watermarks are very powerful to just showcase a given this is top secret, for example. This is top secret, so you should just be aware that this is top secret. This is something you should not play with. Okay, so you can customize it to different forms. For example, you can say you can insert the watermark and you can remove the watermark directly from here, or if you want to add a given default or customized one, you can come to this add sign. Okay, you can just click on this add sign and you have the different features to add the watermark from. For example, you may decide you don't want to add a text, you want to add a picture, so you can just click on enable this picture watermark. So you have to say select a picture. For example, here you can just navigate to wherever you have a picture saved somewhere. Maybe it's a logo or something you cherish. For example, you can just move around, and I may want to have one of my pictures, or I may want to add one of these pictures, maybe Google pictures, just to show that this document belongs to Google. This is just an illustration. So you just select, and you can see it has taken the picture. You can see the preview. It's not going to show at this moment, but it's going to be washed out, which means it's not going to be fully transparent. It's not going to be fully colored. Okay, it's going to be a little bit, the transparency is going to be reduced. Okay, so you can see the zoom feature, it's automatic. You can zoom to 150 or 200 as the case may be, as you so wish, but I leave it at automatic. And the format, it could be a horizontal text box, and if you want it, you can make it diagonal if you want, or you can change the vertical nature to from bottom to centered or to top accordingly. And once you hit on OK to this, it's going to apply the whole document or to a specific section that you're targeting. For example, for this one, we're going to go to apply it to the whole document. So once you say okay to this, it's going to take in that, and you can see it over here. Okay, this is it, the Google sign, but it's cleared and it is washed. Okay, so you can see it as just our watermark. You can add text also, customized text, something like not the default ones or the preset ones. If you want to add your own, you can just come over here to the plus sign as well, click on the plus sign, but this time you are not going to add a picture watermark, you're going to add a text watermark. So you can just click over here, and the default ones, you can see them from this content. You can see confidential, top secret, distribute, urgent, sample, original, draft. You can see all of them from here, and you can vary the sizing over here, and as well as the font style that you are going to use in writing that particular text. You can vary it, and the color also you can vary. The default is this one, but you can vary the coloration depending on what you want. Okay, so you can see this is the default, this gray color. You can vary it. The format and the horizontal and vertical alignment you can vary as well. The transparency is default at 50%. At 50, you can increase or decrease it to make it glaring or visible or not. You can see the do not copy as a sample. This is the gray nature of it. You can change it to maybe something like red, and you can see the color just changed directly. So assuming I want it to be do not copy like this, and maybe I want to change it to something, this is private, for example. So this is private. So if you want something like this, you just go ahead and say okay to this, and it's going to take in this as our own. It's going to add up to that, so you can come over here and just click, and it's going to take in that as our own watermark. You can see private, and you have to remove the other ones. For example, you have to remove the entire watermark if you want, and remove everything, and then you can add one, maybe private. You want to add one private, you can see private, and the coloration, it took in the coloration as well. And if you want to change the different features, okay, of this particular private, you can say inside watermark, and here now you can change it to maybe not horizontal but diagonal. Okay, you can make it diagonal, and you can see it's just giving you the preview. You can select it, and you can see it made everything diagonally here. You can see it very visible. Okay, so at any given point, if you intend to remove the watermark, you can come over here, remove watermark, and your document is now free of watermark. Okay, so I think that does it for this class. In the next class, we're going to look at how to add line numbers to your document. Okay, this is very important when you are writing journal paper or conference paper, so that editors can be able to track a given change or a given correction and do it correctly. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Alright, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at how to add line numbers to your document in WPS Office Suite. So like I've explained in the previous class, adding line numbers is extremely important, especially when you are writing a journal paper or a conference paper or any kind of document that requires someone to track a given correction. So you can be very specific in identifying the areas where one should pay attention to, or one should pick on a mistake, or if you have corrected a document, it becomes very easy to reference your correction and where improvements are made within that particular document. So let me give you an example so you can know exactly what we are talking about. So from the home tab, if you want to add line numbers to your document, you can come to page layout over here, and you can see line numbers at the center over here. So you just click on this, and you can see right now it's set to none. You can put it at continuous line numbers, continuous reading, and you can see from the beginning to the end whether there is something in the line or there is nothing in the line. It's just going to label it as a line. Okay, whether there is text in it or there is no text, everything is going to be labeled. So you can see the labeling, everything is being captured. So if you want to direct someone, you can say line 28, and it's just going to bring them over here. So whatever word that you think is having a mistake, you can say line 28 and the fifth word in line 28, or in line 33 or in line 34, the fifth word, and very easy, someone can easily get there and make the correction. Or if you make the correction, you can say the corrections have been effected between line 30 and line 34. So for ease of reference, so the first type of line reference, the first type of lines within line numbers within a document is this one, the continuous, or if you want, you can say restart on each page. So you can see in this particular page, you have the numbers 1 to 27, and the next page also is start afresh 1 to 28, and the next one is start 1 to 25. You can see as soon as you finish a particular page, the line numbering starts from the beginning. Okay, so if you want to reference this kind of line numbers, you can say on page 5 line 6, or on page 5 line 10, or the corrections that can be found in page 6 between line 7 and line 15. Okay, so this is very detailed, and it's really helps during editing process or editing a particular document. Okay, so you can say restart at each section. If you have sections clearly defined within the particular document you're working on, it's going to restart after a given section. Once you get to a particular section, it's going to start afresh, something like that. Okay, and then we can say compress a particular paragraph. Maybe you are on this paragraph and you want to compress it. It's going to compress, and it's not going to number that particular paragraph. So you can see it has now compressed it without numbering it. So everything in that paragraph should now take in as a single line. Okay, so you can now do not show lines on this line. So, and it's not going to show any line here. Okay, so you can see line number settings. You can come over here and you can try to play around with the settings. It should start at 1, and the counting, the interval should be at 1, or if you want, it can be at 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on your choice, but the default is at 1. So you have 1 increment from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, and you can have the text should be from automatic. Okay, the way it should be, and the numbering can restart at each section or at each page, or should be continuous depending. So once you specify from here, you click on OK, it's going to take in that numbering that you've specified. Okay, and at any given point, if you decide you don't want line numbers, you can always come to line numbers and you can say none, and it's going to remove it for you, so you don't have any line number within your document. Or after the correction, you want to submit the final document, you can just go ahead and remove the line numbers by selecting none, and you can go ahead and present this or submit it to the editors. This does it on this tutorial about how to add line numbers to your document in WPS Office Suite. In our next class, we are going to look at page borders and page colors. Okay, how can we add page borders? How can we add borders to our page? The different types of borders and coloration to our page as well, for your own professionalism in writing. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to insert page borders and page coloration to your WPS Office Suite. Okay, to start with, all you need is just to be on that particular document that you want to insert the page borders on. You can just come all the way to page layout. Okay, you can see page borders from here. You can select on page borders and you can see the different kind of defaults, the different kind of settings. This is page border, and you can see the settings. You have none. Right now it's set at none, and you can set a box. You want a simple box around your text. You can see the definition of the kind of style that you may have. You have multiple styles that you can pick from if you are interested, but let's say for this tutorial at this moment, we'll go with the plain line, and then you can change the coloration if you want. You can go with something like this or something like this, and then the width of the line, you can play around with it. The thickness of the line, you can play around with it, and the kind of art that particular line is going to carry, you can play around with it as well. And then what kind of border do you have? The preview, you can preview on each angle. Right now everything is selected, the 4 angles are selected, and everything is going to be covered. So this should be applied to the whole document, or to a particular section, or to the first page only, or to all page except this. Okay, you can define which page should contain, but at this moment I want to include everything to the whole document. And then once you are set with this, you are certain, you can just go ahead and say okay to this, and you can see you've inserted border to your text or to your document. You can see the border is very clear and very clean. If you don't want to customize it one more time, or you want to customize it again with different features, you can still come back to the page layout and come back to borders. Okay, so you can just go ahead, select any. Assuming we'll go with something like this, you can see the preview from here, and you can just go ahead and say okay, and you can see it has changed everything to that particular line. So you can play around with it depending on your choice, depending on your kind of test. What kind of test do you have? What kind of line do you have? If you have a given definition, maybe you want something like this, and you want it to just have this on the side bar or on the top and bottom. You can see this is top, this is bottom. You can remove on the sides just like so, and once you say okay to this, it's going to be only the top and the bottom that is going to carry this border. Okay, so the border is very interesting. It makes your work look very, very professional and nice. You can go ahead and play around with it depending on what kind of document you are trying to produce. And you have more options also from here, and you can play around with the top and bottom width. Okay, from text, this much distance from the text and this much distance from the bottom. If you don't want it to be perfectly aligned to the text, just like we have in the document, you can play around with the left, right, top and bottom, and then the text from text or from margin, depending how you want to separate the document. So you can go ahead and play around with all this and see which of the features you find interesting, and you can play around with it. You can come to the shading in case if you want to change the fill color. You can change the fill color as well within that particular border. So for example, over here, assuming we select this and we want everything to be complete border, and we want the shade to take in something like this, you can see the preview. Okay, so you can see the definition, everything is taken, and once you say okay, everything becomes this coloration. So if you want to remove the border, okay, at any given point you want to remove border, you can just come over here, come to the border, you can come to none, and once you click on OK, everything now goes back without the border. Okay, so you can see how powerful this feature is. Very easy to just play around with to create borders to make your work appear professional and nice. The next thing is we'll try to look at the page coloration. So assuming we have some border, let's have some very basic border. Assuming we have this border, I kind of like this one. Okay, and maybe coloration, we can select something like this, and then we say okay to this. Assuming I have this border and I want to put in some coloration to the page, and come all the way to the same page layout and come back to page coloration. You can see the multiple colors that you can put on the page. For example, you could go with this gradient. I always like to have gradient. You can see now everything changes, the coloration now changes, but this red color is not professional. We can have something like this, and you can see the document is changing completely. If you don't want this, you can go ahead and come to more colors, or you can come to more colors and you can define the kind of color that you want by just navigating around. You can see select a given color, you say okay, and everything turns to that color. Okay, you can see I think this is cool because it aligns with the text. And then you can come also, if you want more colors, or you have a specific place that you want, maybe you want the coloration to be of this, from this color, from this yellow color, you can come to the same more color. You can come to eyedropper, and eyedropper is a feature that you can use to navigate to wherever you want to pick the color from. Assuming I want this yellow, I can come over here. You can see with the eyedropper, once I click, everything now becomes that color. Okay, it now becomes this yellow color, and see within my document. Okay, or if you want, you can come to picture background. If you have a picture that you want to put, you can easily select the picture and you can use that as your background. Okay, so just go ahead, select any picture, and you can come bring it in, and you can see the preview. Once you said okay, and it's going to set this as a background for you. You can see, very nice. Okay, so this is picture background. If you don't want the picture, you can maybe set other backgrounds, maybe gradient background, texture background, or pattern background. Let's say gradient, or let's say texture. You can select the texture from any texture. Assuming you can select this, or you can go with something like this, and once you say okay to this, everything now becomes this background. So you can see you can play around with the background color and even add different kind of texture to it, or different kind of gradient to it, so it looks kind of fantastic and nice. You can come all the way and put in the texture. You can change it to something like this, and once you say okay, the whole write-up now changes. So you can see the power of the coloration in the page. Okay, and at any given point also, if you want to remove the page color, you can just come to no color, and everything now is removed, and it's now back to plain or white background like we have. So I think that does it for adding page borders and page color to your document in WPS Office Suite. In our next class, we're going to look at how to add multiple columns within a particular document. So this is very useful when you are writing a paper. Sometimes in some papers or in some journals, the requirement is that you have 2 columns for the document before you submit. So we're going to look at how to do that with WPS Office Suite in the next class. So until then, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. In this class, we're going to look at how to add multiple columns to your WPS Office Suite document. Okay, so all you need is to start by opening the document. Once you have it open here, you can come to page layout over here, page layout, and you can see multiple columns in this. Okay, so like I've explained in the previous class, multiple columns are very important, especially when you are writing a conference paper or a journal paper. Sometimes the requirement is that you make it 2 columns, or in some cases they may define more than 1 column, or in a given arrangement of the columns that you may have in that particular paper or in that particular magazine or thereabouts. So to do that, to insert multiple columns, all you need is to come to page layout, and you can see columns over here. You can see 1 column, which is the default one, which is just the single document like you have here. You can make it 2 columns, and you can see everything is now converted to 2 columns. You can see this document is now 2 columns, which is the requirement in some papers. I'm sure you have seen that. You can make it 3 columns as well. If you want, you can make it 3 columns, and you can see the document is now 3 columns. Okay, you can see 3 columns. You can make it multiple columns, or you can come to more column option over here. So you can change it to different kind of arrangement depending. This is 3, this is 1, 2, 3. You may want it to be left columned, okay, and you may want it to be right columned, just like so. The arrangement should be right columned or the left columned, just like so. And once you hit on OK, everything is now going to be changed to the left columned, just like so. Okay, so it's very easy to just do it. You can come over again, more columns, and you can play around with the number of columns. Alternatively, you can do it manually. If you want it to be 3, if you want it to be 4, you can see you can make it to be 4, and once you hit on OK, it's going to make it 4 columns, just like so. If you want it to be 20, you can as well make it 20, depending on your choice. More columns, and you can see now the default is 4. What we set is 4, and you can see the preview from here. Okay, there should be line between. If you want to have line in between the columns, you can enable the line in between, and once you say OK to this, there's going to be a line in between the columns, just like so. Okay, so you can see the line coming in between all the columns, and I think this is exceptionally next level. You can use it to write anything, any of your content. More columns, and you have the option to define the spacing, the column width and the column spacing. Okay, you can define everything from here. So depending on what kind of requirements you have, and you can apply this effect to a particular section of the document from this point onwards or forwards, or for the whole document. You can apply it to the whole document if you so wish. So once you select, maybe in my own case, I would like to apply to the entire document, and you can just go ahead and say apply to the entire document. And once you say this, everything is going to be taken to default. Now at any given point, if you don't want to have your paper or your conference paper or your journal article to have multiple columns, you can still come back to the page layout, come back to columns, and say 1 column, and everything is going to go back to the single column like you started. So I think that does it for this tutorial on how to add multiple columns to your document, be it your conference paper or be it a journal paper. In our next class, we are going to look at page margins, how to add page margins and orientations to your page. Okay, so until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we are going to look at how to add page margins and change orientation within WPS Office Suite. So if you want to add a page margin, or you want to define a given page setup, all you need is to come to page layout over here, and you can come to margins at the top left over here. You can click and you can see different kind of margins. The default is the normal one, which is the one we are on at the moment. This is the normal. You can come back to margin and you can make it narrow if if you want to make it narrow, and the margin is going to be narrow. Okay, so you can see it's now narrow. Okay, you can undo, you can see the margin is larger in size. Okay, the length of the margin is bigger, it's larger. And if you want to make it narrow, you can just come over here, make it narrow, and the length of the margin is going to be smaller. Okay, and you can still come back and make it moderate, and this is the one that most people use in their document, so it contains everything and then it stays well defined. Okay, if you want, you can go to wide, which is going to make it more narrow, which is it takes in very little text within a particular page. So you can see the arrangement. This is wide, and you can go and do custom one. Okay, custom margin, and from here you'll be able to have different kind of page setup. But at this moment, we'll just specify margins. You can define the top of the page, how much inch do you want. As you increase, you'll be able to see the preview from here. You can define the left margin, how much length do you want it, how much inches do you want. You can define, even change the length, the unit of the margin from inches to points to centimeter to millimeter. However you want it, you can change it. And then the bottom also, and the right length also you can change, and in each case you can change the units and do the changing accordingly. Orientation, you can change from here, from portrait to landscape, and you can see the preview from here. Once you said okay, it's going to go back to this particular orientation. Once you say okay to this particular selection that we've made is going to take in over. Like now we've converted the pages to landscape, everything is now changed, and the margins is what we have selected that it starts taking effect on. So you can always come back to margin, come to custom margin, and you can change the page orientation to any, and the multiple pages you can add to all the pages, or mirror margins, or bookfold, or reverse bookfold, depending however you want it. You can just click and it's just going to show you the preview, and you can apply to the entire document or to a specific point. From this point onwards, you want that default, you want that effect to take effect. Okay, so this is page margins. You can go to paper sizing if you want to play around with paper size. You can see the custom size is the one that you have at the moment. You can go to A4 to different kind of paper size, A3 or thereabout. These are Chinese numbers, so I'm not so familiar with it, because WPS is developed by a Chinese company. Okay, so you can play around with the width and the height of the paper however you want it, and then the layout, you can play around with the different sections of the layout as well. And document grid, if you want to insert a grid to the document for ease of understanding, and you can have vertical and horizontal grid combined. You can define the number of grid for clarity if you want. And the columns, we've explained how to use columns, how to make a paper to have multiple columns in the previous class, and I'm sure if you have not gone through that one, you can just still go ahead and go and check it around. But for this tutorial, we're just going to focus on margin, and this is how to change in the different kind of layout depending on even the paper you are writing. Some may come with defined margins, top, bottom, or left and right. How do they want the margins to be defined? You can just follow around and you can change it accordingly according to the requirements. And for orientation, at any given point, you can see orientation from the page layout. You can see orientation, and you can easily convert a paper to landscape or to portrait by just coming to orientation, and you just click and everything is now back to portrait, or you just click and everything is now back to landscape. So depending on what kind of paper or what kind of journal you're writing, or what kind of requirement is needed for that particular document you are producing, you can either produce in portrait or in landscape. With just a simple click, everything is going to be perfect, and the margins you can follow around and play around with it to have your document change to a specific margin that you are targeting. Okay, so I think that does it for this tutorial on how to play around with margins and orientation of a particular page. Thanks for watching. In our next class, we're going to look at how to add table of content to our document, how to add specific table of content automatically, and as we update the document, it's equally going to update the table of content as well in our document using WPS Office Suite. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye.
Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at how to insert table of content within your document in WPS Office Suite. So to insert a table of content, all you need is to come to the location where you want to insert the table of content. Assuming I want to insert it at this point, okay, on this page. So maybe I can go to the next page and just be hitting enter until I can start my document in the next page. Assuming I want to start from here and I want my table of content to appear on this page. So all I need is to first start by formatting my document to create headings on the document. So assuming I have this very document and this is chapter 1, this introduction, let's say this is heading 1, heading 2, maybe heading 2, this is heading 2, which is subheading 1. And you can have this this can be heading 3, which is under heading 2, can be heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, as the ranking or level might be. So I can define all of them. So for example, I can come over here, select heading 1 over here. So now it is defined, but I can see this spacing is too long. So I need to format this heading 1. So right click on it and say modify style. And I want to come over to this style and maybe reduce the spacing in between. And once I say okay to this, you can see the spacing has reduced. Okay, so you can format anything, you can modify anything as regards this heading 1. You can modify the formatting type, you can modify the sizing of the text, whether it should be bold or italicized, or what kind of style it should have. Is it Latin, is it Asian? You can play around with it, and you can play around with the styling as well, based on is it normal or is it style for following paragraph. You can still follow it, edit it from here, and once you're done, you can just go ahead and click on OK. Or if you want to check out formattings, maybe you can check out the fonts, paragraphs, tabs, and border numbering. You can do all that. You can play around with all this from here, and at any given point you'll be able to see the preview over here. Okay, once you say okay to this now becomes our heading 1. This one now is our heading 2, which is a subsection under heading 1. You can come over here and say heading 2, and you can see also the distance is much, so you can right click and modify the heading 2. You can come over here and just select this and maybe reduce the spacing in between, and you can see this is introduction. So once you hit on OK, everything now becomes neat. Okay, so this introduction, maybe we can have this definition of environmental sustainability as heading 3. Okay, so you can equally right click and modify it, make it something like this, and you can reduce the spacing and say okay to this as well, and you can see the spacing has reduced. Okay, so this one also you can reduce the spacing a bit if you want. Okay, so you have chapter 1, these are subsections. You can go ahead and be defining them accordingly. So this is another subsection, we can call it maybe heading 2, and then this one maybe heading 3. Okay, so we just simple click, you are defining them. This one can be heading 2 also, for example. So this is chapter 2, we can see this is heading 1, this is chapter 2, and then we can see this one is heading 2, for example, this one is heading 3. So once you define the headings on all the text that you have, okay, so this one may be heading 2, and then maybe this one may be heading 3, and this chapter 3, you can as well define it as heading 1, this one heading 2, or something like that. Okay, so it's very direct. So once you have everything defined, you have the headings defined, so you can come over to the first page, and then you can go all the way to references, and you can come to table of contents over here. So you can select between the different table of content that you have. This is level 1, and this is the arrangement that you have. This level 2, and this is how it's going to be arranged. This is the multi-level. Okay, you can see level 1, level 2, level 3, and this is the arrangement. For example, on this one, you can see a sampled preview of what it's going to look like on the page. So you can say, let's say we'll go with this, and we select this, and you can see it has just inserted the table of content for us, and automatically it has picked the number of pages and everything. So all you need is to come to this catalog, for example, right click and say table of content, and now you have your table of content fully written. So in cases when you vary anything, you can see it even over here at the content side menu, you can come all the way down and do some basic editing on your own. So if peradventure you change something, assuming you change something, maybe this one chapter 1, this introduction, and you have it to be introduction to sustainability, for example. So that means you have tempered with the title of this particular one. So over here now you will not see the change. Okay, it's just carrying introduction. But if you want to update, you can always come to update table of content. So it is going to ask you to update page numbers only if you want to update only page numbers, or if you want to update the entire table, you can select this one, which is what I want to do. And once I click on OK, you can now see it's been changed to introduction to sustainability. Okay, so that's how to virtually add the table of content and to even update some of the features that you have. Okay, so you can just go ahead and keep writing. Once you finish your writing, you finish your editing, you can always come over here and update the table of content with just a simple click. So it's that simple to kind of update. Okay, so at any given point also, if you decide to remove the table of content, you can come over here and remove the table of content directly from here with just a simple click, and everything is gone. Okay, so basically this does it for this tutorial on how to add table of content within WPS Office Suite. I hope you enjoyed this video. In our next class, we're going to look at how to play around with text editing review features. Okay, review features within WPS Office Suite. So if you have a journal paper or you have a project students that are submitting documents for you, I'm going to show you how to review their document digitally without you printing and doing manual corrections on them. And then you can resubmit back, and they can work also on them and resubmit back to you. You can do all that digitally without you wasting your pen or even wasting your time printing and reviewing the hard copy. Okay, so until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. In this class, we're going to look at some of the review features that you may come in contact with when you are editing document, or when you want to review a particular document that a student have submitted for you. Is it a journal paper that you are assigned as one of the reviewers to review a document? You can edit it digitally and send back to those people or the authors, and then they will edit back and send to you. You can collaboratively work together in editing the documents. Okay, have all the features, all the corrections made, and you could be able to track and make the editings, accept or reject the comments you have made, and then maybe make their own comments also, so you can collaborate digitally within a particular document. So to start with, assuming we have this document that we are working on, assuming it's just an assumption, so we can come to the review features over here. So the first thing you need to do if you want to review any document, assuming this is the document that is provided by one of your students for you to review, you can come to review over here, and you can come over to track changes. I just hit on track changes, and that enables whatever you are going to do here. This WPS is going to track the changes for the other author to be able to view and make comments or edit on it. So assuming I select this whole place and delete it, it's going to tell me, it's going to tell the other person that deleted this portion. This is what I deleted, and I can select, maybe I can come over here, long-term plan for ecological fonts, for example, and you can see now it is making it in red. You can see these are some of the things, they are the things I have done. So if anyone wants to see the comments, you'll be able to know that something was done with this vertical line, something was edited here. And come also with a simple full stop. If you add a full stop here, it's going to show on red that something is added. And maybe if you select this particular whole paragraph and say delete this, it's going to show that you have deleted this much document, this much information within the document. So if you add also the same way, so assuming maybe I want to select a particular portion of the document and make a comment, I can highlight the document. Maybe I want to make new comments. You can see now I'm making comment as myself, Dr. Rashid. Now kindly remove or rephrase this paragraph. Okay, kindly refresh this paragraph, and you can just going to do, once you highlight, we are going to see the paragraph, and this comment is made by me. You can see now we have made some series of comments over here, and maybe I can highlight some portion of this also and say kindly update. Okay, so once I say kindly update, we can come over here, and you can see now we'll be able to see that there's a comment over there, kindly update. and it's made by me, Dr. Rashid. You can see now, after submitting to this document to your student back, after reviewing it, maybe he is to accept or reject some of the suggestions that you've given in the document. So you have to off this track changes. So once you off it, you'll be able to now accept or reject the changes. So assuming this is your student now, on the other side he is reviewing what you have reviewed, so you can see that Dr. Rashid made this comment, update this, and if you accept this, if he updates this, you can come over here and reply to this particular document and say done, or you can say delete the comment because you have updated already, or you can reply the comment. You can say maybe this is that's on your own side. You can reply to the comment, you can say updated already, kindly check, for example. Or if you like, you can say done by just coming over here to the same drop down and say done commenting, and now you can see it has graded everything, so because you've commented on it. And then on the next correction, this one, it has deleted this portion. If you have accepted that portion of the document should be deleted, you can just click on this green tick to accept it. If you have not, you can click on the X portion to redo it. So let's undo. You can click on the X if you didn't accept, and that particular text that he has deleted will be revert back to its place. And if you want at a given point, for example, this one, he has added this. Okay, so if you want, you can accept. You can just highlight and say accept change, and now everything becomes normal. And if you want, you can reject. It's all boils down to you. And at a given point, if you want, you can, if you have gone through the corrections and you are certain with what he has corrected, you can just come over here, accept all the changes in the document with just one click, or you can reject all the changes in the document with just this one click, and you can move from corrected portion to the corrected, from next previous. You can be moving across the document, across all the edited portions of the document. And you can always compare two documents. Maybe this is the original document and this is the revised document. You can put them side by side to be able to compare and see the changes that he has made through the commenting. Now, another thing that you may need to understand is you can see handwritten comments. In cases, once you select handwritten comments, you have the option to select a particular portion of the document and make your own comments with the handwritten feature. You can maybe edit this, or you can say this one should be removed or something like that. You can strike this through, or you can highlight anything and make your comments directly. Now you can do that with the ballpoint pen, or you can do watercolor brush the same way. This is watercolor. You can select and make the edit, or you can make some highlights and say these are important places that you should pay attention to when you are working. I've highlighted all of them. Chapter 2 is extremely important, so pay attention to it. And pollution and waste are important, so pay attention to it. You can just do all that. And you can do ink shape also to do the same thing. You can highlight something, some features, maybe within a particular image. You can be able to highlight something and define something, or you can use the eraser at any given point if you want. And the eraser can help you to erase any written document, any handwritten edits that you have made within a particular document. So once you're done, you can close and then go back to the normal one. So you can always insert a comment. You can always check out the word count by just selecting everything and say word count, and it's going to give you the entire number of pages, number of words, number of characters with spaces and without spaces. All these key details, you can get them with just a simple click. Okay, so you can see how perfect and powerful this is when it comes to the selection. So you can do spell check as well. You can come to the small drop down here. You can do spell check or set language, or you can change the option in cases when you don't want to work in English language. And you can do text to speech directly. So you can highlight a portion of the text, okay, and just come over here and say text to speech.
Environmental sustainability is of paramount importance as it ensures the preservation of ecosystems, protects biology.
So you can see how powerful it is. You can easily listen to the reader. Okay, this is text to speech. You can click over here and show the toolbar if you want to show, or if you don't want to show, you can reduce it. And you can edit the volume of the reading from here as you so wish. And you can play around with the voice pitch, or you can change the voice speed also from here. If you want to increase it, this is the average 50%. If you want to increase, you can go ahead and increase. Okay, so this is basically how to do it. One last thing is you can restrict editing also from here. Once you click on this, you can play around with the editing. Maybe you can restrict the person or someone who can edit. You can set protection to limit the number of people who can edit, or someone who can have access to the document on its own. Okay, if you want to set restriction, you can go ahead and set the restriction. If you don't want, you can remove. One last thing is you can show all markup from here, final show markup, or final or original show markup, or you can do original and it's going to go back to the original document. If you want to see final show markup, you can show the markup on its own. Okay, but at any given point, once you finish editing or reviewing what your supervisor has edited, you can go ahead and say show the final, which is without the markup. So you just be able to see the final corrected version of the document. Okay, so I think this does it for this tutorial on how to use the review features in WPS Office Suite within your document. In our next class, we're going to look at how to change the view options, the various view options that we have within WPS Office Suite. Okay, so until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at how to change the view options within WPS Office Suite. So to start changing the view options, because it's important to have the different views and introduce different features that can help you maximize your productivity within WPS Office Suite. All you need is just to come to view options over here, and you can view the document in full screen mode with just the selection of full screen, and everything is now full screen. You can see the percentage of the zoom level. This is now 130%. If you want, you can increase or decrease it from here just directly by clicking this 170, but you can keep increasing, or you can go back and decrease, and you can quit the full screen mode over here by just clicking on quit screen. And this is the default, which is the print layout. This is the outline view, which is the one that you can see how the arrangement of the document in stages and including the levels, this outline view, and have other things to play around with at the outline view. You can always close if you are done, but still within the view options, you can check the web view. This is web page view. Okay, this is web page view. In cases if you want to see the web page view of your document, you can always come over here. And there's this navigation pane. You can enable it if you want. So let's go back to the page print layout, and then we can try to show the navigation pane. Navigation pane is actually important if you have it within your left or right of the document. You can just, within a click, it will take you to a particular section that you're working on directly with just a click. It's just going to give you a preview of whatever you have within this document. And over here, you can enable the pages. Okay, so you can be able to move from page to page just like so. You can just navigate around. So it just gives you that ease of access to navigate around within your document. And you can bookmark things, or you can bookmark pages, and you will be able to see all the bookmark that you've made within the document over here. And you can search the document for a particular keyword or for a particular page or anything within that particular document. Okay, so let's come back to the main navigation pane, and you can go back to the view options as well, and then you can check out, you can enable the ruler. Okay, if you want to enable the ruler, you can see it. So let's close the navigation pane. You can see the ruler that enables you to know the width, or if you want to increase, play around with the margins, you can do that with the ruler as well. And you can see it both left and at the top and at the sides. Okay, so you can be able to adjust accordingly the margins or the arrangement in the document. You can enable markup if you want, and you can check out view grid lines. If you want to enable grid lines to your pages, you can just, with just one click, you can have grid lines enabled. If you don't want, you can disable, and you can have the task flow, where if you want to restrict editing of your document, or you want to set in another preference, you can always set from here. Now close, and you can have table of grid lines in cases if you want to have, and you can zoom in from here, or you can leave it 100% with just a simple click, or you can play around and make it full width. It should take the entire full width of the document. With just a simple click, you'll be able to have the access to that, and
you can navigate and come back to the 100% zoom feature. And then you can make it one page. Right now it's one page. If you want to make a multiple page, you can see it's now multiple pages. So everything is now converted to multiple pages. You can see them very easily. And you can go back to one page if you want. And this is the eye protection mode in cases when you want to minimize the rays coming out, the reflection from the screen. You can use the eye protection mode, so there is little impact on your eyes when you use the eye reflection mode. You can arrange the document with horizontal text box, or you can do cascading. You can do all that, or you can enable new windows. If you want to create a new window, you can just with just a simple click, or you can split the window if you want into two, just something like that, and you can cancel the splitting, or you can remove the new window if you so wish. Okay, so this is the document. It just gives you another new tab, because in WPS you can have multiple of tabs that you can be working with simultaneously within a particular document. So let's remove the eye protection mode, and you can view side by side a particular document. Okay, so you can view side by side this one and this one, and you can scroll accordingly. Right now you can see you can scroll individually. The scrolling has been synchronized. They will scroll together. If you want, you can off the synchronization, and you'll be able to synchronize only one page and be able to compare with the other page over here. Okay, so you can synchronize them individually, and you can reset the position if you want. If you don't want the side by side, all you need is just to click it. Okay, click it out. So I think this does it for this tutorial on how to check out the view options to be able to enhance your productivity within the WPS Office suite. In our next class, we're going to look at how to add cover page to your document to make it look professional for submitting or for any presentation to a third party. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at how to add and remove cover pages within your WPS Office suite. So all you need to insert your cover page. Actually, the reason why you need a cover page is to improve the professionalism in your document. So assuming I want to insert a cover page at the beginning of this, so this can go to a fresh page, and then we can start in chapter 1. Just open the document that you want to insert the cover page on, and you can go to the beginning of it where you want to insert the cover page, and then you can come to the tabs over here and come all the way to sections. Okay, the section over here, once you're in section, you can come down to cover page. You can see it over here. So you can see the preset ones. You can see this one, you can see this, you can see this one. With just a simple click, you can be able to just add, and we can have resume cover pages. If you want to have your resume cover page, you can do that. You can have other design like puzzle or salbot or thesis cover pages. You can see the sample thesis cover page, transverse cover pages in case when you want everything to be in a landscape, and you can have them in different formats. So let's say we want to add a normal one, standard. So you can just go ahead, select this cubicle, and you can see it has just made this cover page and took everything to the next page. Okay, so here you can write the title. So you can write the title over here. So we can select and maybe play around with it. From here, you can come back to home and maybe make it a bit smaller. Yeah, so you can see now this is the concept of sustainability, and this now you can add some text by Dr. A.S. Abdul Rashid. You can see now this makes it a professional cover page. You can see the title and the author. Okay, and that's all. Maybe you can put in a date over here. You can see June 2023. Okay, so I think this looks cool. Okay, so you can just scroll around and see now you have your cover page. And at any given point, if you want to change the cover page, you can still come back to the sections, come over here, and you can change it to any other one. For example, the thesis type. This is a thesis type, so you can just select and it overrides that and now gives you the thesis. Okay, the thesis version. So what you now need to do is you can put in, depending on the kind of formats that your university used to have, you can put the name of the university, name of the thesis, or the title of the thesis over here, and then you can put the name of the student ID, thesis advisor or supervisor, and his name over here. Okay, so once you put in everything, it now becomes customized, and then you have your document accordingly.
So you can go ahead and play around with it however you want it. The cover pages, you can put them, the resume type, if you want to put this one, or you want to put something like this also, you can easily, with just a simple click, add the title and author's name. This one also has given you the idea of how you can make it. Okay, so you can just go ahead and play around with it. So at any given point, if you decide to remove the page, cover page, all you need is to come back to the section, go to cover page and come down here and say remove the cover page, and it's going to be removed directly, okay, with just one click. So I think this does it for this tutorial on how to add cover pages to WPS Office Suite. In our next class, we're going to look at how to do find and replace within a particular WPS document. So until next class, thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So welcome back. In this class, we're going to look at how to use the find and replace feature within WPS Office Suite. So all you need is to just open your document. Maybe there are some words that you want to find, and there are some words maybe you want to replace with. Instead of you to be doing it manually on your own, to be finding the word one by one, you can do it in a professional way, in an automatic way, to just generate the finding. It just find it for you, and then you can go ahead and replace directly with whatever you want to replace with just a simple click. So all you need is to just come over to the home tab over here, and you can come to find and replace feature. You can do find only, or you can do Command F to just start finding. For example, I can come over here and say Command F, and it's just going to pop up the find feature. So I can find this word money, or I can find the word ecosystem. Then just click, and you can see it has shown ecosystems over here. Okay, so you can go find next, and it's going to show me another one, ecosystem, down here. So whatever you want to find, you can find directly, or you can go ahead and say find the word money anywhere. You can see it has shown me. You can find the next one, you can see it has shown me as well. So alternatively, you can do replace. If you want to find money, you can replace it with the economy, or you can replace it with something like poverty. Okay, find the word money and then replace it with poverty. So all you need is to find the next. You can find them, and you can do replace one by one if you want, or if you want, you can replace all at the same time, and it's going to show you all done. Writer made 2 replacements, so it discovered 2 money and replaced them with 2 poverty within this very document. Okay, so you can see how fast and fantastic it went on. You can do the same also for, let's say, ecosystem. Find the word ecosystems and replace them with the word poverty, and you can just say replace all, and it's just going to go all done. Writer replace 7 replacements, so you've just done 7 replacements within this. So this is very easy. You can check out special characters in cases if you want to check out. You can format, check out the more features over here. You can come to the more features, and you can search all by match case sensitive. You can specify how you want the search in the finding to be. You can say match case sensitive. So if the wording that you've spelled ecosystem, if anything is capitalized, it's not going to fetch that as a word that it's going to replace. Or you can find whole words only. If there is a word that, for example, ecosystem, there is no S in that word, it's not going to include that. Or you can use wildcards depending on your own choice. Okay, so you can specify the criteria for the finding over here. You can match prefix and suffix if you want still to be very specific in the finding. You can do all that from here. Okay, so you can define all that, and the format also, you can define the kind of format or the coloration or the highlight or the paragraphing or the tab nature of that particular word that you're trying to find. And then again, you can go to any section of the document within. For example, you can go to a particular line. If you just click, you can say I want to go to line 25 or line 35, and once you click on go to, it's going to take you to line 35 directly. You can see how fast and fantastic this can be. Okay, so this is very fast. It can take you to any section. You can just name the section, and it's going to take you, if it can take you to another page. For example, I can go to page 3, just click, and you are on page 3 right now. Okay, so this is how powerful the find and replace feature is in WPS Office Suite. You can do find only, and you can do replace only, or you can do go to, like we've just explained within the document. So I think this does it for this tutorial on how to use the find and replace feature within WPS Office Suite. In our next class, we're going to look at how to use some of the special features in WPS, okay, such as how to convert a PDF document to a Microsoft Word, or a PDF to Excel, or PDF to PowerPoint. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye. Okay, so in this class, we're going to cover how to insert page break within WPS Office Suite. So to start with, all you need is to come anywhere within your document that you intend to insert a page break. You can just come over, assuming in this page, I want to insert a page break at this moment, at this point. So all you need is to come to insert over here. There are two ways to access page breaks within WPS. The first one is at the insert menu. You can see it over here, where you have different kind of page breaks. You can break page break, which is the default one. Okay, you can see the page break directly, or you can do column break in cases when you are working with multiple columns, and you can do text wrapping break in cases if you want to break from a text wrap to another section. Okay, so you can do next page section break. You can do start a new section at a new page break. Okay, or continuous section page break, and even page section page break. You can do all this if you so wish. And another way to access page break is by coming to page layout, and you can see it over here, breaks. Okay, so you can access the same page break from this angle as well. So for this one, we can just stay at the insert menu, assuming you want to create a page break at this moment, at this point. All you need is to come to breaks, and you can come over to page break over here, and you can see it has broken the page from this moment, and everything now move to the next page. Okay, from this point that we created the page, it moves to the next page. You can try to view that by making this smaller, and maybe you can come to view and say maybe you want to view multiple pages, assuming I want to make it multiple page. So it becomes very easy. So if I want to break at this point, all I need is to come to the same insert and go to breaks and still click page break, and you can see it has broken from this page to this point. Okay, so it's very easy and very nice. And in cases when you want to just see how you can play around with your text, you can play around with it. And in cases when you want to see where there are page breaks within your document, all you need is to come back to the home tab over here, and you can come to this icon, this very small one that's called show hide editing marks in WPS. So if you click on this small drop down, you can come over here and say show or hide paragraph marks. Once you click on show or hide paragraph marks, you will see the exact places where there are page breaks. So for example, at this moment, there is a page break over here, and there's another page break over here, and it's broken to this point. Okay, so if at any given point you decide to remove page breaks from your document, you can still see that at this point you have a page break. So all you need is just select the page break and delete, and then the document is back to normal. Select this one also and delete, and the document is back to where it was before. So it's very, very easy feature to use, and at any given point you can still come back and unshow this so that you can have your document fully. The reason for that is to show all the tabs and the spacing and characters in between the words. Okay, so I think you can just go ahead and play around with the page break options and try it on your own in any other way you want to play around with it. But I think that does it for this tutorial on how to use page break. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Okay, so welcome back. In this class, we are going to look at the special features within WPS Office Suite. Okay, so what are some of the special features that you have in WPS Office Suite? So all you need is to come to the Home tab, open the document you want to play around with, and then you can come all the way to the last tab over here, which is the special features. So some of the things you can do with these special features are you can convert your PDF document to Microsoft Word, or to Word, or to document in WPS, and this document can be opened also in different platforms, such as even Microsoft Word. You can take it to Microsoft Word and you'll be able to view it over there. You can do PDF to Excel or PDF to PowerPoint, and you can export this document in PDF. You can export to a picture if you want, and you can do picture to text conversion if you want, and you can do picture to PDF, or you can do text to speech conversion also by selecting a given writer, a given reader, and the speeding and the pitching and other features that you may need. And then you can do screen recording over here with this WPS Office Suite. So you can see it's an all-in-one platform. You could do virtually anything you want as regards text editing or even content creation to some extent. So let me give you an example of how you can convert a PDF document by just coming to click on PDF to Word. You can see over here you have to drag and drop the file, or you can click to navigate to where you have the PDF document. Assuming I have it here, this confirmation booking, and I can just click on open, and I can just go ahead and say convert. And because it's just 2 pages, you can see it is just going to convert it for me very perfectly. And you can see right now it has finished the converting and it has opened everything in Microsoft Word. Okay, so you can see the 2 pages. You can go ahead and edit the content of it. Okay, so you can see you can edit any section of it, you can delete any part of the document, and you can add your own also. Okay, so you can edit it so which confirms that it is a Microsoft Word document. So this is very nice and very perfect. It's one of the powers of WPS. It does all this within just a simple click. Now let's try another one, PDF to Excel. You can just do the same document, and we can just go ahead and click on convert, and it's going to convert for us directly. You can see, but this time around to Excel. You can see it has now just converted everything for us to the spreadsheet. Okay, so you can see it has opened it in spreadsheet for us. So everything is as it is here. You can see everything is in cells. Okay, you can see the cells. You can go ahead and edit accordingly as you so wish within the cells. You can select a given cell and you can make the adjustments. You can see the cells that you can add other things if you want, but this has shown you the conversion. And go ahead within these places and make your changes accordingly as you so wish. So this is one of the powers of WPS Office Suite. So let's say at this moment I want to come back and I need to maybe do one last thing. I want to export this particular document that we have on sustainability. I want to export it to PDF. So all you need is to come over here. If you want to convert PDF to PowerPoint the same way, you just open it in PowerPoint or the presentation mode that you have over here. So let's say we are converting this confirmation to PowerPoint. You can just see within one click, you can just convert it to PowerPoint. And you can see now everything is being converted to PowerPoint. It takes in the format or the slide size as it is. If you want to have a different slide size, then you can go ahead and have a different slide size. But this just shows you an outline. You can move from one slide to another, and you can add the slides accordingly. Later I will show you in detail how to work with PowerPoint or presentation within WPS Office Suite. But for now, this is just the conversion to PowerPoint. Let's do one more special feature. You can come back to the same special feature, and then this time around with the sustainability document. Okay, you can do export document to PDF. You can export this entire document that we have to PDF. Right now it is about 10 pages. You can export it. So you can go ahead and say export. And you can see the status over here. Once it finished the exporting, it's just going to, okay, so right now it has finished the exporting. So you can specify the directory over here if you want to save it at a particular location. So you can click custom directory or same directory. If you want custom directory, you can define the directory over here. So this is on downloads. Everything is in downloads. So you can close on this, and maybe you can go to downloads and you'll be able to see it. And you can see the document over here converted to PDF. Once you just double click, this is sustainability but in PDF. Once you double click, it's going to open. So this is it opening. Alright, so you can see it over here. It's just open in PDF. This is in PDF format. Okay, that has just converted it for us. Okay, so you can go ahead, go back over here, close on this, and maybe minimize this, and we can still go back to our sustainability document. And you can go ahead and try other things from picture to text, from picture to PDF, text to speech, or screen recording. All you need is just to select maybe this one you want full screen, or you want a specified area. You can just define it accordingly. If you want full screen, you have to define the mic that you're going to use, the audio, the output settings, okay, and the kind of format or the kind of format that you want. It is 720 up to 1080. For the free version, you can go up to 480p, and if you want watermark, you can go ahead and do and edit and put in the different kind of watermark. You want a watermark or without watermark, you can just see, and you can start recording your videos. You can open the folder to specify where you want to save it also from here. Okay, so you feel free to just explore the other features. I've just shown you an example of how to use some of them. So I think this concludes the entire section on how to use the document within WPS Office Suite. In our next section, we are going to look at presentation as another section that we're going to cover within WPS Office Suite, how to make stunning PowerPoint presentations and some of the key details on how to play around with them and make your presentation sound and appear professional. So thank you so much for watching, and this brings us to the end of this section, and I look forward to seeing you in the next section. Bye.